Change the truth for God into a lie. In English, Jesus Christ. In Hebrew, is Yahweh Shai. So do or die. Do your immaculate conception.
Yeah, hold on.
Deception. Along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's clause, the birth of Nimrod, and not the son of God. To you was kinda odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about the Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about the Yahweh Shai. Even with the right time. It's all about the Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High.
Shalom, brothers and sisters.
Shalom!
Welcome to the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We are located at 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard. That is Houston, Texas, 77071. We have our brother school, which is in San Antonio, Texas. And they're located at 4219 Senegate, San Antonio, Texas, 78217. Our weekly announcements are: we have Passover coming up April 21st. If you have any donations, any alms that you can drop in order to help assist with the Passover, we're trying to get a lovely venue together so brothers and sisters can come by and enjoy the Passover. If you're not able to drop anything, don't feel like you can't show up, but you definitely can show up. Scripture said that we need to gather together, and that's what we do.
Yeah. Don't get in that mind that, I didn't give to the Passover, so that's your excuse not to come. No.
Right.
We want you to show up. The Most High requires it of us to be there for the Passover, especially, listen, the whole nation. Gather yourselves together. Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired.
That's right.
All right?
Come. Israel will not be taking any orders until after Passover, so keep that in mind. The brothers have an oil business. We have a website that'll be coming up soon where you can get your aromatherapeutic oils, body oils, oils to burn in the house for men and women. We also have a location located in Baybrick Mall, and we're located in First Colony Mall. Our classes times: Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 10, and Friday, Shabbat night class is from 6 to 9. We also have a Sabbath morning class that is from 10 to 2, and then afterwards we go street speaking. Kids class is every Sunday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. However, there are pre-recorded kids class that you can also have your kids go back and watch as well. Very fun. They like to keep it lively, keep the kids involved, interactive. I remember one time they had a Jeopardy type of kids class, and I actually like that myself. But anyways, we have live classes. We want you to like, share, subscribe, get the word out there, get that truth out there. Post it on your Facebook, post it on your Instagram, send the link to your friends and family, get that word out there. We have a cable show every Tuesday at 8:30. You can find it on Comcast Local 17 or stream live at hmstv.org. That's hmstv.org. And that'll be on Tuesday night at 8:30. We also have a blog talk radio that the brother Mafia does. It's blogtalkradio.com /
Switch mics real quick.
Okay.
Let us know if it's still doing that with the sound.
/ Mashaba, and you spell that MASHAHBA, and that's Monday through Friday starting at 9:30 a.m. If you need to reach a priest or teacher, you can reach Kazakia. His number is 281-707-2737. Or you can reach Priest Quatazat, which is here on my left, at 303-557-8979. Please text only during class. If you need to reach us if you want to email your questions to us or your concerns, you can reach us at I S.B.H.P K'S at I.S.B.H.P K'S.org. And for any donations, the Wells Fargo account number should be scrolling down the screen over there. If not, it's the Wells Fargo is 101-5806-167, or you can Google wallet us at isbhpk@gmail.com. So for the beginning, we opened it up for questions for the first hour or so. So if you have any questions, brothers and sisters, please drop your questions in. And you know, like we do, we're more than happy to answer your questions according to the scriptures, not according to our knowledge, but according to the knowledge of the scriptures.
Does anybody have any questions? I know we got a few online already. Anybody in here? Nothing yet? All right. Let's see what we got online. First one is let's see here. Are we obligated to shave our head if a close friend or loved one passes, like in Job 1:20? Let's go there real quick. Job chapter 1 and verse 20. So the question is, are we obligated to shave our heads if a loved one passes? Read that for me.
Job chapter 1 verse 20. Then Job arose and rent his mantles,
right,
and shaved his head.
Come on.
And fell down upon the ground and worshipped, and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb,
right,
and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave.
Now, so Job did this, right? Because what happened? We know that his family was being, his kids got wiped out one by one. Now, are we obligated to do this? No. You're not obligated to shave your head if a family member dies. This is what Job did. This is what some, not every person that had a death went and shaved off his whole head. Now, we did it as a sign that we were mourning. Let's see here. Give me one sec. You had, y'all know the story of Elisha, right? Y'all don't know the story? Okay. We'll get it. Hold on. Let me find it here. Find me that where she is. You know what I'm talking about? I think we just read it also.
Yeah.
2 Kings 2:24.
Yeah. Let's go here. Let's see here. Let's see here.
23 and 24.
Where you at?
2 Kings chapter 2 and verse
Yes,
23.
2. Give me one sec. I'm trying to, let's see here. 2 Kings 2. Yeah, it's not a requirement. You don't have to do this. It doesn't say in the law, thou must shave your head in the death of a family. But men did this, they did this to show that they were in that state of mourning. Go to 2 Kings. Just show an example, other than Job. Job wasn't the only one that did it. Elisha did it also. So we're going to go to 2 Kings and start at 2 Kings chapter 2. Let's see here. 2 and verse. Saying that Elisha spake. Well, I'm trying to get it up in Get some context of the story. Let me see here. Give me one sec. Right, so this is when Elijah was taken up in the chariots. When you read in verse 11 and 12, Elijah was taken, right? So Elisha mourned. So the way he did, he shaved his head. So just a little context on the story. So yeah, you can start at verse 23, 2 Kings 2 and verse 23.
2 Kings chapter 2 verse 23. And he went up from thence unto Bethel.
Go ahead.
And as he was going up by the way, there came forth little children out of the city and mocked him.
They did what?
Mocked him.
What were they mocking him for? Go ahead.
And said unto him, Go up, thou bald head.
Right, because it wasn't a custom for us to shave our heads bald. It wasn't, it was a custom when someone died, but we didn't have to do it. But it wasn't a hairstyle. That wasn't the thing to do, like, oh, I got a full head of hair. I got hair like Absalom, let me just go shave that off and walk around bald headed. It was a shame for a man to have that long hair, but to also just be bald and shave it off if you can grow it. So he shaved his head in that mourning state, and the kids mocked him. They said, "What?
Go up, thou bald head. Go up, thou bald head." And he turned back and looked on them and cursed them in the name of the Lord.
Come on.
And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the wood, and took 42 children of them.
Right, it was 42 children that were mocking him because he was bald. So the 2 she-bears came out and did their work. But, to answer the question directly, no, you're not obligated. You're not obligated to shave your head, in the death of a family. You don't have to do that. There's no law, once again, that says, as far as what I've read, thou must shave your head to mourn for the dead.
And also in the scriptures, it also talks about different ways of mourning too. Like people will throw ashes on their head, people will wear sackcloth, and that was just to show that they're mourning. Like some people, they fast too. When they're mourning, they're sad, they fast. The scriptures also talk about that too.
Right, like when David's child was killed. Watch, go to 2 Samuel. Go to 2 Samuel. It's chapter 2 Samuel.
14. That's about the hair.
Yeah, that's going in. Right, it's just reading this too. Well, the son that David had with Uriah the Hittite's wife, the first one, the Most High killed that son. But it tells you what David did when that son was taken. I'm gonna find it here. Where's it at? Give me one sec. Just read this too. Absalom.
Is it in 12:8?
Yeah. Yep.
I was just there.
12:9.
No, it's not 12:9. Give me a sec.
Okay.
Absalom.
12:22.
What?
12:22. Our child was yet alive.
Right. Here it is. It is in 12. So go to 2 Samuel 12. Verse 18.
2 Samuel chapter 12, verse 18.
Verse 15.
15.
Uh-huh.
And Nathan departed unto his house.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord struck the child that Uriah's wife bare unto David.
Right, because we know that David slept with Uriah. He committed adultery with Uriah the Hittite's wife. She conceived the child. He put Uriah on the front line of battle. He put him in the hottest spot in the battle, right? And left him without any cover, any men. He died. David took Uriah the Hittite's wife as his wife. She had this baby. Go ahead.
And it was very sick.
And it was what?
Very sick.
Yeah, so the Most High started punishing David right away. The baby was sick. Go ahead.
David therefore besought God for the child. And David fasted and went in.
So before the baby died, David was fasting. Go ahead.
And went in and lay all night upon the earth. And the elders of his house arose and went to him to raise him up from the earth. And he would not, neither did he eat bread with them. And it came to pass on the 7th day that the child died. And the servants of David feared to tell him that the child was dead.
Right, so on the 7th day the child died, and the servants were afraid to tell David, because they're like, man, we don't know what this man's going to do. He been fasting, he ain't ate, he been laying on the ground 7 days. Go ahead.
And the servants of David feared to tell him that the child was dead. For they said, behold, while the child was yet alive, we spake unto him. And he would not hearken unto our voice.
Yeah, when the child was alive, he wasn't listening to nobody. He was doing his own thing. Go ahead.
How will he then vex himself if we tell him that the child is dead?
Go ahead.
But when David saw that his servants whispered, David perceived that the child was dead.
Where you at?
Verse 19.
Read.
Therefore David said unto his servants, is the child dead? And they said, he is dead.
Right.
Then David arose from the earth and washed and anointed himself.
You see that? He did the opposite. He said he rose from the earth, he washed himself, he anointed himself, come on.
And changed his apparel.
You did what?
Changed his apparel.
Yeah, because before the child died, he had on the sackcloth, he had on the garments of mourning. You see that? Because he was in fasting prayer mode. But he got up after the child died, washed himself, go ahead, cleansed himself, read.
And came into the house of the Lord.
Come on.
And worshipped. Then he came to his own house, and when he required, they set bread before him, and he did eat.
And he ate after the child died. Go ahead.
Then said his servants unto him,
right?
What thing is that God has done?
They're like, why are you doing it backwards? Basically, why are you eating now that the child is dead? You're supposed to be fasting and praying now after the fact.
Yeah.
Right? Go ahead.
Thou didst fast and weep for the child while it was alive.
Right. But I went here to show that David didn't shave his head off. He didn't shave his hair off, excuse me. He didn't shave his head in mourning. He did his mourning before the fact. And then when the child died, he carried on. He carried on like it was nothing. He understood this one thing. Watch, read on.
But when the child was dead, thou didst rise and eat bread. And he said, while the child was yet alive, I fasted and wept. For I said, who can tell whether God will be gracious to me that the child may live?
Right. So he was like, listen, I'm going to fast and pray because the Most High might find some favor on me. You might be graceful.
God.
He might give you some grace. Go ahead.
But now he is dead.
But now he was what?
Dead.
Come on.
Wherefore should I fast? Can I bring him back again?
Right.
I shall go to him, but he shall not return to me.
Right. So again, I went here to show David, prominent man in the scriptures. His son died. What did he do? He didn't shave his head because it's not a requirement. It's not something that you have to do. Elisha did it. Job did it. It was something that you did to show that you were in mourning, but again, you didn't have to show that you were in mourning. You didn't have to show that you were fasting. Remember what Christ said in Matthew 6. He said, when you fast, go wash your face. Don't make it look, don't appear to fast. So you don't have to appear that you're in mourning, you don't have to shave your hair all the way off. All right, so hopefully that answers that question. If there's anything else, let's go ahead and shoot it through. Let me know if that answered that. Next question. What is I.S.B.H.P K'S view on Esau being mentioned several times in the Book of Jasher? Well, for one, we don't deal with the Book of Jasher. So there's a lot of things mentioned. Go to Isaiah. There's a lot of things mentioned in the Book of Jasher. There's a lot of things Esau's mentioned in the Book of Enoch. There's a lot of things mentioned in these different books. But get Isaiah 8:20. Actually, on my little Bible app, I have the Book of Jasher, and I'm gonna tell you this: it don't correlate with the Bible. It says some very, very, very big. It says a lot of things that go away from the scriptures. Now, yeah, it mentions Esau. Okay. But that doesn't mean that it correlates with the scriptures. Isaiah 8:20.
Come on. Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20.
Wow.
To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word.
The Book of Jasher doesn't speak according 100% to the word, the Bible that we have. It doesn't speak according to what we have. It doesn't speak 100% to edify and precept upon precept with the scriptures that we have. Yeah, it might mention Esau. It mentions Israel. It mentions angels, and it mentions all different type of things that are in the scriptures, but that doesn't mean that it goes with the scriptures. Go ahead and read on.
Come on. It is because there is no light in them.
Right. If it speaks not according to this law, this word is because it has no light in it. Go to Isaiah. Go to Isaiah chapter 34:16.
Come on. Isaiah chapter 34, verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord.
Do what?
Seek ye out of the book of the Lord.
Right. It says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord. The Book of Jasher, you got to be careful with the Book of Jasher, Jubilees, Adam and Eve, Enoch. You got to be careful with these books because, yeah, they'll mention things that are according to the scriptures, but then they'll go off and tell you that angels slept with women. Well, we know the Bible don't say that. It'll go off and tell you that angels turned into mermaids, and that a man shot bow and arrows into the air and blood fell from the heavens. And that's what it says in these books. Now, nowhere ever in the scriptures have I read that somebody shot bow and arrows into the air and blood fell from the heavens. The only thing that falls from the heavens when you shoot it up is that bow, is that arrow. Read it again.
Come on. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
Go ahead.
No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate.
It says what?
None shall want her mate.
It says none of these shall fail. Speaking about all the prophecies that are spoken of in the scriptures from Genesis to Revelation, it said none of these shall fail. Now, you can go to the Book of Jasher, book of Adam and Eve, Book of Enoch, and there's things in there that don't add up. They failed. The prophecies, they failed. But it said none of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. There is no number 2 to the Bible, like, yeah, I'm going to take this book and I'm going to put it next to the Bible and they're going to add up to each other. No book, no matter what we pull out, whether it be a dictionary or a history book, is gonna, yes, there are things that we use in the dictionary, right? But does a dictionary 100% correlate with the Bible? No, because those are written by men. Now, we got to understand it. That's why it says none shall want her mate. A mate is a counterpart. Right? There's no counterpart to the Bible. Y'all understand that, right? Read it one more time.
No one of these shall fail.
Read it from the top.
Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail.
Come on.
None shall want her mate.
Yeah, so the reason why we stick to the scriptures is because from Genesis to Revelations, thus far, not one of these prophecies have failed. When it tells you in Deuteronomy 28:68 that if you didn't follow the laws, you would be taken into slavery as an Israelite, as a black and Hispanic. If you didn't keep the commandments, you was going to be brought into slavery via ship. It happened. Ain't no other book that prophesied your slavery. There's no other book that's going to prophesy your redemption. There's no book that does that. What book can you go to help get your life in order?
None.
Thank you. What book of Kemet? What book of Enoch? What book of Jasher, Adam and Eve can you use to get your spirit right?
None of those.
None. If anything, they're going to twist your spirit. If anything, they're going to add things to you to dredge up more questions like, wait a minute, well, that's not what I read in the scriptures. Well, yeah, because they don't add up. They don't add up to what we have as far as what was inspired by the Most High. We know that these books, like it says in Timothy, they were inspired. They're inspiration of the Most High. Those other books, come on, we've been through, we've destroyed Enoch. We destroyed that book. It showed just in the prologue of that book, it tells you that don't read it. It's trash. We got to do it. I guess we got to do it on the Book of Jasher, in the Book of Jubilees, and the Book of Adam and Eve, and show that this Book of Jasher that we think we have now, it's not the Book of Jasher that was spoken about in the scriptures. It's not the actual Book of Jasher. Just like Enoch, that's not the Book of Enoch. That's not the real writings of Enoch. If he had writings, it said Enoch prophesied. They never said he wrote a book. You see that? So even things like that. So we got to be real careful with what we dive into, man. Hopefully that answers that question. Mic is loud. Yeah. Damn. Turn my mic down a little bit. Can y'all hear me? Yeah, you can hear me. What about your mic? Is it good?
Test.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, let me know. My bad. My phone, I put it on silent, so I wasn't seeing the messages. But yeah, let me know how the mic sounds. Let's see here.
You want that one?
What you got?
About Jewish fables?
No, we can. No, I think they got the message. Okay. Yeah, I think they got the message. Oh yeah, okay. Let's see here. Charles Whitmill. A man marries a woman but divorces her, and she married another man, but their marriage ends in divorce. My question is, can the first husband remarry his ex-wife? So let me understand. A man marries a woman but divorces her, and she marries another man, but their marriage ends in divorce. Can she go back to can the first husband marry his ex-wife? I mean, let's go there. Let's go there. It's in Let's go there. Marriage. I mean, technically, if she left, she was supposed to go back to her first husband. She wasn't supposed to marry another. Let's see here. Corinthians, right? Give me a sec. Yeah. It's a good question. Let's see here.
Which one?
It's Corinthians, I believe. It's either Corinthians or Matthews.
Right.
Go to Matthew 5. Give me 1 sec. Let me make sure this is the one. No. You know what? Let's hold off on that one. Let's hold off on that one because it's gonna. Let's hold off on that marriage question. I'll come back to that one. Let's see here. Shalom, can you break down Deuteronomy 24:1? What does it mean when it says wife and her uncleanness? And what does it exactly mean when mention of a bill of divorce? Does the same bill apply today? Let's go to Deuteronomy 24:1. Somebody do me a favor. When you get a chance, write down that last question. Let's go to Deuteronomy 24:1.
God.
Go ahead, read that.
God. Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And a man had taken a wife
Come on.
and married her.
Mm-hmm.
And it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he had found some uncleanness in her.
Right. The uncleanness, he don't like her. The uncleanness, you know, she didn't come up to, she wasn't what he thought she was gonna be. She might not, she might not be willing to follow his lead. She might not be willing to be subject to him. I'm just giving you those examples. There's many reasons why a man can men can make up some reasons for uncleanness, right? That we know aren't justified. When he finds some uncleanness, go ahead.
God. Then let him write her a bill of divorcement.
Right. And this is probably this is actually probably going to answer the last question. Right? It says let her do what?
Let him write her a bill of divorcement.
Right, like the scriptures say in Ecclesiasticus. Go there, hold on where you at real quick. Go to Ecclesiasticus. We're at Deuteronomy 24:1. Go to Ecclesiasticus 25:26. Hold where you at, Major. Somebody else get Ecclesiasticus 25:26. So we're probably going to knock out both those questions in one. Read that.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 25, verse 26.
Come on.
If she go not, as thou wouldst have her.
Right, because a woman was created to do what? Be subject to her husband. So if she don't go in righteousness, so if she's not going the way that he would have her, go ahead.
Cut her off from thy flesh.
Right.
And give her a bill of divorce.
Right, and give her a bill of divorcement. Now, you're asking, is that bill of divorcement the same? Let's see here. What it mentions, what does it exactly mean when the mention of bill of divorce? Does the same bill apply today? Yeah, you can write her a written bill of divorcement. Just how when you go to court and you go to divorce court, then they give you documentations. Yeah, you can write her a bill of divorce. Ecclesiastes 25 and verse 26. No, he was asking what scripture we're at. So the same way. Now, do you have to have that written bill? No. Just like how you don't have to have a marriage document or a marriage license to get married in the eyes of the Most High. No, if she's not following, if she's not being subject to her husband, if you find some uncleanness in her, right, through these things, then he can divorce her. Doesn't have to be written down. You don't have to sit down and I'm divorcing you because and then stamp it with a signet. No. You just let her. You let it be known. Listen, I'm not dealing with this woman. We're divorced because such and such. But you don't have to. It doesn't have to be some written document, some written paper. Y'all understand that, right? Jump back to Deuteronomy 24. Deuteronomy 24 and verse. Finish up where you at, Major.
God. And give it in her hand and send her out of his house.
Right. So you give her that bill of divorcement. You've been served. Send her out the house. Right.
God.
Read on verse 2.
God. And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife.
You see that? When she what?
Departed out of his house.
So going back to the last question, it said she can go be another man's wife. Go ahead.
She may go and be another man's wife.
Read verse 3.
And if the latter husband hate her,
right,
and write her a bill of divorcement, and give it in her hand,
right,
and send it her out of his house, or if the latter husband die, which took her to be his wife.
Right. So if the second husband, the latter husband, dies or gives her another bill of divorce, so she got the first husband, he divorced her. Now the second husband gives her a divorcement, or he dies. Go ahead.
Her former husband, which sent her away, may not take her again to be his wife.
You see that? Go ahead.
After that, she is defiled.
Right. You see that? So the law is telling us right here. So to answer that other question, the first one, if a man divorces a woman and then she gets married to another man and gets divorced, can the first husband take her? It's telling us right here in the scriptures. Said he can't take her because she's defiled. Read on.
God. Sorry, I lost where I was at.
Read verse 4 one more time.
God.
Y'all understand, right?
God.
All right. I hope online. Let me make sure that y'all understand. Let me know. I could go a little bit slower. I know I'll be talking fast. Right? So the scriptures is letting us know. Let's start at verse 1 one more time.
God.
Deuteronomy 24 and verse 1. Let's make sure we get it.
Deuteronomy chapter 24 verse 1. When a man had taken a wife,
right,
and married her, and it comes to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he had found some uncleanness in her,
right,
then let him write her a bill of divorcement.
Right, that uncleanness, she doesn't want to follow his lead. She doesn't want to follow what he is laying down. She might be, and it's not like, oh, I want y'all to understand. It's not like, oh yeah, she don't want to follow one time, I got to divorce her. She didn't listen one time, I got to get rid of her. No. That's what they were trying to do way back in the day. That's why Moses said, that's why Yahushua said in Matthew 19, for the hardness of your heart, Moses allowed for that divorcement. So let's not be naive here and think like, oh, well, yeah, she didn't follow me, or she's not being subject to me one time, I get to divorce her. No. You had to have been going through the steps of, okay, I took this woman, I'm trying to guide her mind, I'm trying to build her, I'm trying to show her the order, and she's flat out just garbo. She just rejects everything, right? She don't want to submit to me. She'll make herself subject to everybody else. But when it comes to what I'm saying, what is she doing? Blatant disrespect, really not trying to work in the spirit at all. Then yeah, you write her that divorce. You get rid of her. It tells us in Ecclesiastes 25:26. I'll read it. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go. So you get rid of her. You divorce her. You let it be known. This woman is now divorced from me. I'm not dealing with her. Does it have to be written down? No. Does it have to be? And then you go get it notarized? Nah. But you can. You can. Brothers have done it. You can. You can go get it notarized and do all that. You can definitely do that to show I'm divorced from this woman. So it cuts a lot of that. It cuts a lot of confusion anyway. Go ahead, read on.
Come. Then let him write her a bill of divorce.
And listen, if you want to stick to the law, and because you got brothers out there, man, that they're such law keepers. Like, I keep the law, I'm in there. But how many women have you divorced and literally written them a bill of divorcement? None. How many women have you been with and then you're not with? Did you do this? Did you follow this step? See, a lot of brothers be doing that holier than thou thing. But if you can do it, do it. This is something that we can do. Write it down. You're hard-headed, you're stiff-necked, you're rebellious, this is why I can't be with you. Can two all together, these there be agreement? No. You can write all that if you want. You write whatever you want in there. Show it. Look, this is why. But think about it. How many brothers that claim to follow the law do it? This is in the law. So if we can do it, if it's in our power to do the law, we do it, right? Come on, read on.
And give it in her hand.
Right.
And send her out of his house.
Yeah, a lot of times, from what I've seen, it's like, yeah, we're not together no more, and they just go separate ways, right? Or there is no here, there isn't that written down contract here. We're divorced. Go ahead.
And when she is departed out of his house.
So when she departs out of his house, go ahead.
She may go and be another man's wife.
Go ahead.
And if the latter
has to be out of this man's house. They know, like, I'm in between houses trying to get with another man. It don't work like that. She got to be gone. Read.
And if the latter husband hate her, and write her a bill of divorcement.
Right. So if the second husband hates her, you're like, yeah, now I see what the first husband was talking about. Damn. You're like, you hard-headed and just don't listen. It's showing something about this woman. Go ahead.
And give it in her hand.
Right. So if he hates her and he writes her a divorce and puts it in her hand, read.
And sending her out of his house.
Come on.
Or if the latter husband dies.
Or if he dies. Go ahead.
Which took her to be his wife. Her former husband, which sent her away, may not take her again to be his wife.
Right. I mean, why would you want to? You divorced her for a reason. You got rid of her for a reason. Now remember, this is the law. Talking. We're reading right from the law. Go ahead.
After that she is defiled.
Read.
For that is an abomination before the Lord.
It is a what?
An abomination before the Lord.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt not cause the land to sin, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance.
Right. So remember, it ain't, oh, I met a woman, I don't like the way she cooks eggs, I'm out. I don't like the way she her breath smells bad in the morning, so I gotta divorce her. No, that's not the uncleanness. Now there was a time where we were trying to make up. We were making up things, right? We were, oh yeah, I don't like the way she does this. I don't like the way she looks. She got fat. And what were men doing? They were using those as excuses to try to divorce, right? They were doing it unjustly. This is showing you that justness. All right, y'all get that?
God.
Let's see. I want to get into this class, man. When a man and a wife no longer want to be married. Okay, nothing. Are the members from the rap group 3-6 Mafia wicked? Or are they justified in their beliefs in reference to the carbon molecule? I'm not sure what is. I know you know what that is. What is that? I love what you mean in class because you be knowing what the hell they're talking about.
So the carbon molecule 666 is 6 protons, 6 neutrons.
Oh, and 6 electrons.
I mean 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, like pin. So that's supposed to mean that's
the mark of the beast.
Well, the makeup of black people that are melanin.
Genetic
It's supposed to be
makeup.
carbon. Yeah.
Okay.
6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons.
Okay, let's answer it real simple.
3-6. So.
Oh, 3 because of their.
Yeah.
Okay. Are they wicked? Well, what are they talking about?
That makes it wicked.
Yeah.
What it says you know a tree by the fruit it bear, right? You know what manner of man by what? Let's go there real quick. You know a man by his works, right? You know a tree by his fruit, right? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, get that one from me. So, I mean, what is 3-6 Mafia talking about? What are they talking about? I don't listen to them, but I know they're talking about drugs,
Fornication.
right? So they're talking about
Whoremongers.
drugs, being whoremongers, fornication, killing people, adultery, right? Okay, so are all those things righteous or wicked?
Wicked.
Forget about the 366. Forget about that. That might just be an icing on the cake. I don't know what their belief system is, but I do know according to what they talk about.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody's hit me up with a question. Hold on. You find that?
No, sir.
Right? Damn. Class, bro. Who you at? Yeah, where you at? What is that, Matthews?
Yeah.
15?
11.
Yeah.
11.
Oh, no. That's not it. Hold on. There's one that's in my brain. I'm having a brain fart, man. Matthew. Oh, okay. You were Matthew 15. Were we there?
God.
Go to Matthew 15.
God.
Maybe you wanted to read up a little.
Yeah, go to Matthew's 15. And 18.
God.
Are you there? No, yeah, read that.
Matthew.
Are they wicked? I'm not gonna say that they're wicked because I know they talk about all this stuff. I don't know what they do, but let's see what the scriptures say. Read that.
God. Matthew chapter 5 verse 18.
15 and 18.
God. 15 and 18. But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart.
Right.
And they defile the man.
Read.
For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts.
Right. Ain't that what they talk about? Evil thoughts. Go ahead.
Murder.
Ain't that what they rap about? Murdering. Read.
Adultery.
Ain't that what they talk about? Mr. I'm gonna steal your girl. Right. What's a 3-6 Mafia song? Oh man. Come on, man. They was talking about Whoop That Trick. They wrote the whole soundtrack for Hustle and Flow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was their whole soundtrack. They got a Grammy for Whooping That Trick.
Dang, I didn't know that.
So they endorse beating women. Whoop That Trick, and that's the only one I really know. That's the only one I remember. Whoop That Trick. Get him.
Chicken head.
Yeah. Wop Wop Chicken Head.
Oh, that's them?
Yeah. Bands to Make a Dance. I listen to some 3-6. Bands to Make them Dance. Come on. They endorse strip clubs. And you know what I'm saying? All the filth of the world. So, are they wicked? Well, they do wicked things in their videos. You know a tree by the fruit that it bear. What is their fruit?
It works.
Well, what is it that we see?
The music.
All the things that they talk about, we see. We see them doing in videos. Now, again, we know that the music industry, that ain't real life. That's music life. These cats might be, I mean, look at Ice Cube. Ice Cube was like, F the police, blah, 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 blah. And he's like American, you know, like dad mode. He's like a soccer dad.
Yeah.
So he could be one way in the music, but one way in his real life. But what do we see? We see all these things that are proceeding out of their mouths. We see the evil thoughts, the evil intentions, the adultery, the murder. Go ahead.
Fornication.
Come on.
Thefts. False witness.
Right.
Blasphemy. These are the things which defile a man.
Right. These are the things that defile you and make you wicked. So forget about the carbon molecule. Let's listen to the music. Whoop That Trick, get her. Bands will make her dance. Bands will make her dance. All these chicks, right? Come on, man. That's what they talk about. Getting your daughters into the strip club and making bands will make her dance. Rubber bands of money is going to make her dance. Come on, man. That's what they want for y'all's daughters.
What's that verse about the trees and the fruits?
Where you at?
Matthew 7.
Go to Matthew 7:16.
You want me to finish that up, Bob?
Finish it up, yeah.
Come.
No, that's it. Go to Matthew 7:16.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 16. Ye shall know them by their fruits.
You shall what?
Know them by their fruits.
So there's an ain't just 3-6 Mafia. It's all these wicked rappers. It's all these dudes out here talking about. Listen, if it's not about the Most High, if they're not trying to endorse the children of Israel getting the hell up out of this system, out of this mentality, out of this society, I count it all as wickedness. I count it all as unrighteousness. Now, I don't want to just call men that I don't know wicked, but read it again.
You shall know them by their fruits.
You know them by their fruits, man. You know them by what they're talking about. You know them by what they do and what they promote. Is Jay-Z wicked? I don't know him, but what's he talking about? He ain't talking about thou shalt not. He's talking about do as thou wilt. Right? Is Kanye wicked? Well, I don't know Kanye. But he's talking about slavery was a choice, but not pulling no scripture. You know them by their fruit. He's running around marrying white women and indoctrinated with that. But he ain't trying to keep no commandments. So you know them. Forget about the what is it? The carbon molecule. Yeah, y'all get into a lot of that. Where does that come from?
Science.
Oh, is it the science?
Yeah.
They say we're carbon based. So we got to eat carbon plants. Doctors say we eat carbon foods. Right. I didn't know there was a whole molecule of 6. I didn't know that. Wow. Learn something new every day. Read it again.
You shall know them by their fruit.
Right. So if you're asking if 3-6 Mafia is wicked, well, you know them by their fruits. Go ahead.
Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles?
Uh-huh.
Even so, every good tree bringing forth good fruit.
Every what?
Good tree bringing forth good fruit.
Yeah, a good tree is going to bring forth good fruit, not thorns and thistles. Ain't no man trying to gather thorns and thistles. You can't eat that. You can't get wine from that. Go ahead.
But a corrupt tree bringing forth evil fruit.
Right. So again, I don't know too much about 3-6 Mafia on that level, but they're not talking about these scriptures and the Most High trying to get us up, trying to use their platform. Again, I'm not saying that they're wicked. They're definitely lost and off. But you know them by the fruit that they bear. All right? Let's see what else we got. I'm trying to get into this class, man. They got a lot of questions. What's that?
To expound on that point, it's interesting that you mentioned the thorns and thistles. That we read that part because I was reading this article last night. A guy was filming his girlfriend while she was high on drugs, eating thorns, and they're.
Wait, you said a guy was doing what?
He was filming his girlfriend eating thorns. She died. But, 3-6 Mafia, they promote drug use.
Right.
They promote all that. So
bath salts.
Right.
All that, right?
So it's just interesting that, that you expound on that thorns and thistle. And sure enough, a guy yesterday got convicted of...
he filmed her what? Eating what? Thorns?
Eating thorns. Yeah, she was high off something.
What is the thorns? Oh, like regular thorns on a plant?
Yeah.
Oh, she got high off something.
And then was just eating thorns, and she was telling him to film her, and yeah, man, the drug was CP2 or something like that.
Wow.
It was like PCP.
PCP.
Backwards.
Yeah, that's that wet. That's what you had. You know what I'm saying? That's what you had. I didn't, but you did. Right? Yeah. Quoting movies up here. Let's see here. Question. Genesis 1-3. Adam being the first man in the Bible, the first creation of the Most High. What was the rest?
I think that was a question. Was Adam the first man? First creation?
Question. Adam being the first man in the Bible. Yeah, I don't see it. I just see a statement. But let's see here. No, Adam was not the first creation. Let's see here. Adam was not the first creation. Go to Colossians 3. Huh?
Oh, 1:15?
Yeah, go to Colossians 1:15. Go to Colossians 1 verse 15. I'm not sure if you were making a statement or having a question. Now, the first creation is going to tell us here. Go ahead.
Colossians chapter 1 verse 15. Who is the image of the invisible God?
Right, so this is speaking about Yahushua, Christ. Go ahead.
The firstborn of every creature.
So Yahushua was the firstborn of every creature. Okay, read on.
For by him,
and it says that he was the invisible. He is the image of the invisible God. Right. So, like when the apostles said, "Show us God," he said, "Well, if you see me, you've seen the Father." Not that he was the Father, but because they looked alike. Yahushua and the Most High, dark skin, woolly hair. When you're reading Daniel's, right? The Ancient of Days. He had that flame of fire. He had that woolly hair. So he said, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. Go ahead.
For by him were all things created.
Wait, so it says, for by him were all things created. So when you go through that Genesis breakdown, and you can put the link for that, there's a few of them. We got a few of those. That, you want to go through that Genesis chapter 1, 2, and 3 breakdown. And that'll answer the question more, but through that breakdown we understand that, Yahweh created the angels, or the Most High created Yahweh. Yahweh created the angels, and Yahweh created the world, man. Okay, so yeah, Adam wasn't the first creature. Now the Adamites were the first men. It says we all come from Adam. So they were the first. They had the wisdom. They were the ones created. Did everything else. But yeah, put that Genesis. You might have to put. Where's that? Genesis chapter. Genesis, the first chapter. Yeah, the Genesis 1 breakdown. You could throw that in the. We're gonna put that class in there. Let's see what else we got.
Brother Fred hit me up.
Yeah, he's gonna be up too. Peaceful Sabbath. When not using a razor to cut your hair, how low is low with just plain clippers? It says, when not using a razor to cut your hair, how low is low with just plain clippers? That's up to your discretion. I mean, I'm bald in the middle. I mean, you don't want to be, if you can grow your hair, you don't want to appear bald. But if you're trying to get it even, like me, I'm bald in the middle, so I cut mine to get it even. It might look like I shave it all the way off, but I don't. I got stubble there, so I don't even use a guard. I take the guard off and just use the regular clippers. But that's up to a man's discretion. Again, if you can grow your hair, you don't want to cut it all the way down to where you look bald. You want to keep some hair up there.
God.
But me, I'm bald already. Go to I'm already bald. Go to Leviticus.
You remember Jadakiss, right? You know Jadakiss. I never knew he could get a full.
Oh yeah, he could have a fro. Yeah, he used to bald his hair off on purpose. Yeah, but see, when Jadakiss first came on, when Jadakiss first came on, he had a little Caesar, one blade. Yeah. Go to Leviticus 13 and 40.
Come on. Leviticus chapter 13, verse 40. And the man whose hair is falling off his head, he is bald, yet is he clean.
It says a man who's what?
Hair is falling off his head.
Right.
He is bald.
Right. See, like my hair has fallen off. You can see it's gone. I don't grow this, so I'm bald. So if you're shaving your hair, like me, I'll shave my hair down low enough to where it's all even, because I'm already bald. I'm not making the baldness in my head. Now, if you're shaving your hair off, even with clippers, because you can get it real close, with a good pair of walls, you can get that so close, it's like, damn, there ain't no stubble. So you don't want to cut your hair to the point where it's like, wow, this brother's making baldness in his head. Mm-hmm. Remember, the scriptures say abstain from all appearances of evil. So you don't want to, like Max, he got that glorious fro, right? Listen, when I was young, come on, the fro was always popping. I always had my hair. I always had hair on my head. I never balded it, even when I used to cut it down low. Cut it low enough, let the waves spin. Because a man was supposed to have that hair on his head. But now, and I'm just using me for an example, because I know a lot of people look and they're like, well, how come, brothers shave their hair so low? Well, me, I'm bald. The other brother, Ariah, that's up here, that be sitting up here, he's bald. All that is gone. He tries to resurrect it from the dead, but that's a cul-de-sac. So I go here and show you that a man whose hair has fallen off, he's already bald. We know the scripture says not to make any baldness in your head, right? But if your hair is falling off, you're bald. So I'll shave mine just to make it even. and it'll look like I'm bald, but you don't want to make any baldness in your head. So, I mean, what I would say, throw the one guard on it. That'll keep you some good little length. What do you rock with? A one guard? It looks like.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a one. Yeah.
I'll let it grow.
Yeah. Max ain't rocking with no guard. His joint.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He gonna shave it down, but even when he cuts it, because remember, there's nothing wrong with cutting your hair. Even when he cuts his hair, it's still gonna appear that he has hair. It's not gonna be. We ain't gonna see his shiny dome. Just bald it off. Yeah, he gonna have the waves spinning.
Spinning.
Man, the do-rag on.
Go to work.
Huh?
I'm gonna have to go to work on that.
Right.
Get those spins on.
Get those spins. Let's see here.
Mexican spins.
Mexican spins. Shit's funny about
Let's see here.
They be pimping out their cars.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, the spinners and hydraulics.
Got you.
Shalom, yes, thanks. But does it have to come from a man only? Can a woman give a bill of divorce if the husband is the father, have wicked ways? Because my dad says the Most High didn't agree to divorce. Listen, a woman wasn't supposed to divorce her husband, but a woman can separate from her husband. Yeah, if he's trying to get her to do drugs. Listen, in no way, shape, or form do we sit here and say you're supposed to leave your husband, except for what? In a woman's case.
Beating?
He's trying to beat her. He's trying to pimp her. Trying to get her to do drugs. Right? Trying to get her to do something blatantly evil. Now, you're saying, what if he's defiled? That's not for you to judge. What are you trying to judge, his spirit? Or the things that he does? Because a lot of the things with you women is, well, I don't like the way he tells me to do things. I don't like the way he says this or that. I don't like his tone. And you're like, that's defiled. No, that's not defiled. Is he beating you? Because we tell you, you don't got to stay with that. The Most High don't want you to be with a man that beats you. Is he trying to get you high? Is he trying to get you high? Now, these are the things, if you want to say a man is defiled and trying to defile you. Is he beating you? Is he getting you high? Is he trying to pimp you on the block? Is he trying to get you to sell yourself? Well, I'm throwing it out there because they're asking the question. Defiled ain't, oh, well, he tells me things and I don't like it. Or he's trying to take the rulership as a man in the household and I don't like the way he does it. Now, you do have instances where people have battles. Now, I'm going to use this one. You might have that husband that he might have used to smoke in the world. He might have a smoking problem or maybe even a drinking problem, right? And he knows it ain't right to drink excessively. He knows it's not right to smoke. Now, he might have said, I'm done with that. Then he might get a little stressed out. He might go get him a puff, right? Because his wife, the kids, the life, the hustle and bustle of America, it'll make you go insane sometimes. And some people don't know how to rely back onto the scriptures. So what will they do? They'll go back onto their weakness. Now, you can't sit there and say, well, I'm leaving him because he does that. That's his battle that he's trying to go through. Again, is he making you smoke? Is he saying, listen, if you don't hit this weed or hit this cigarette, you're off? Nah, that's his battle. Now, does he got to deal with the consequences of his battle? Of course. Again, is he beating you? See, what do you mean by defiled? Because it's not up to you as a woman to assess his spirit. That's first and foremost. It's not up to you. Listen, I'm gonna go into the class because I like this question and it's gonna go right into it. If y'all got questions, just hold them for tomorrow. But I'm gonna get into this class. The question plays right into it. Right? So, a lot of the times, and you can put that title up there. This is gonna be a sisters class. for you sisters. And a lot of the times, man, you're trying to assess your husband on this spiritual level. You're trying to determine and make things happen. And it wasn't given to you to do that. It wasn't given to you to assess your husband's spirit. No matter how much of the knowledge you think you have, no matter when you came into the truth, it wasn't up to you to lead your husband. Because now that you have the truth, you're supposed to relinquish that control. You're supposed to say, you know what? Okay, you're the man. It's time for you to lead. You got to give up that control. Go to Ezekiel real quick. I'm going into the class. Go to Ezekiel. You could title this class. What's the title? Why the black woman can't be led. Why the Israelite woman can't be led. You know why? Because y'all think y'all are the leaders. That's why. Class over, dismiss. No, that's not it. But why can't the black woman be led? Let's go to Ezekiel.
Come on.
Let's see here. Let me get it real quick. If you're correct, Jeremiah 31 and verse 22. Jeremiah 31 and verse 32. See, the problem with our people is, especially the black women, you Hispanics, the ones that are still holding on to what America told you. They gave you a false hope and a false dream. They gave you something that was never yours. They gave you this false power. And now that you're coming into the knowledge, you're supposed to release that power back to your man, back to your husband. But some of y'all grab tighter and tighter to that power. The more knowledge you get, the more you're like, nope, I'm hanging on. Nope, I got to be the leader. And not letting your husband step in and take his proper role. Read Jeremiah 31 and verse 22.
Jeremiah chapter 31 verse 22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter?
O thou what?
Backsliding daughter.
Yeah. Most High was talking about the whole nation as backsliders. Because what do we constantly do? We constantly left off the law. We constantly did our own thing. Go ahead.
For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth.
Wait, something of old?
A new thing in the earth.
Wait, this was from the time of Adam and Eve.
A new thing in the earth.
Come on.
A woman shall compass a man.
Somebody look up that word compass. It said this was a new thing in the earth. That a woman shall compass a man. So let's see what it's talking about here. Let's see what this compassing meant. Who got it? Because what America did was, they said, yeah, you can do everything your man can do. When Satan came to Eve and delivered her abundantly gifts, right? We went through it in the class, Satan's gift to Eve. Y'all remember that class? And we went through and showed, what were you given? You were given power, right? The woman was given power over her man. But that was a new thing. That wasn't how things were supposed to be. A wife was created as a helpmeet, not as a spiritual assessor of her husband, not breaking down his spirit and showing him where he's off at. That's the Most High's job. That's brother's job. That's Christ's job. But there's a reason why you hold on to this authority, and we're going to get through it. Who got compass?
There's three
definitions.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. What you got?
The one I think sees fit is the third one. It says the range or scope of something.
Let's see here.
It's meaning like to span, range, extent, orbit, stretch.
Right.
And there's another one. It says to contrive to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
And then the others are kind of like instruments.
Like a compass.
Like an actual.
Well, what it's talking about when it says a woman shall compass a man, It's talking about a woman being set above a man. That's what it's talking about in the context of this scripture. She was gonna rise up above him. That's a new thing. She was gonna surround and rise up above him. She was gonna take him over. The women were gonna take over the man. Compass. When you compass, you encompass. Think about it like this. When you go to war, when they went to war, what did? They would encompass a city. They were surrounded to do what? To take it over. Right. So it says a woman shall compass a man. They were gonna surround us and overtake us. This was something new. This is something that this is something that Satan gave to Eve. Now you got wives trying to assess their husband's spirit. Let me take you into the scriptures, brother. The Bible says, it's like you want to toss the Bible out at your husband, but then when he tosses it back, you're like, yeah, that don't apply to me. Oh, I ain't trying to hear that. Because in your head, you're above him. Well, in the world, you were, because you were taught, independent woman, you don't need a man, and then when you do get a man, you're going to be equal or above him. Don't let no man run over you. You don't need to be subject. You don't need to be submissive. See, the world taught you that the word to be submissive to your husband, there was something wrong with that. Like it was illegal. Like if you were submissive to your husband, then that was like terms of death. Come on, man. The world taught us wrong. The world teaches the man what? Be a Negro. Bow down, get on both knees, not just one knee, get on both knees, Negro. Bow down. You kissing her ring. She's the black woman is God, she's the queen. Come on, man, ain't no queens in Israel. You got kings, princes, princesses. But this is what we were taught. This is the power that y'all were given. And y'all run with it, man. It's sad. Y'all run with it even with the knowledge. Y'all will run with it. Even with all the scriptures and all the knowledge that we go through, some of y'all still don't know how to relinquish and give up that power. But there's a reason why. We're going to get to it. Go to Isaiah 31 and verse 11. Isaiah 3 and 11. Excuse me. Isaiah 3 and verse 11.
Isaiah.
And you know why we got to hit this topic? Because, we got a lot of new sisters online, a lot of new sisters in class. They're getting into these relationships with these men, and they're not understanding their role with a husband in the truth. Your role as a wife in the world is completely different than what it's supposed to be in the truth. Because the world got you messed up. The world told you that, you were going to take rulership. You were going to take lead on everything. Happy wife, happy life, right? If she don't like it, don't do it. From everything from what cologne you wear to what shoes you buy and how much money you spend. Like, I can't get that. My wife ain't going to like that. You know, it's all about what she like. Like, nigga, please. When you going to get what you like? And I'm not saying be a brute beast animal in your house. But what I am saying is the man was supposed to have the last say, the ultimate authority over his wife. You wasn't supposed to make moves off what your wife was going, how long you were going to be sleeping on the couch if you did something. A lot of cats go, like, man, if I do that, I'm going to be in the doghouse. Be in the doghouse? Like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, I was watching, Greenleafs. This was like a while back when I was watching Greenleafs. You know the show about the pastors, right? So you got this pastor, he's supposed to know the Bible. Then he got it, and then he messed up, slept with some woman. He committed adultery with some chick that already had a man. His wife found out. She kicking him out of his house. I'm like, wait a minute, but that's his house. But see, that's what America teaches you, that the woman has ultimate reign, ultimate control, ultimate superiority over a man. But we're understanding from Jeremiah, that's a new thing. That's a new thing that's been created.
I don't know if this goes, but...
Read.
Isaiah chapter 3 verse 11. Woe to the wicked, it shall be ill with him.
It says what? Read from the top.
Woe unto the wicked.
Right, so we got to understand, it says, woe unto the wicked. I want y'all to really listen. I'm trying to make a point here. It says, woe unto the wicked. Go ahead.
It shall be ill with him.
Yeah, it's going to be ill for the wicked. But what do the wicked do? Read on.
But the reward of his hand shall be given him.
Right. It says the reward of the wicked shall be given to him. That's going to come from the Most High. Right?
Go on.
Read verse 12.
As for my people,
right?
Children are their oppressors.
Wait, it says, as for my people, what?
Children are their oppressors.
See, this was the reward for our backsliding. This was the reward for our disobedience. So, is it good that your child can have a temper tantrum in the grocery store, and you see how it be with Esau? Little Billy walks into the grocery store. He sees a candy that he wants. Mom, can I get that? She's like, no, and he starts cussing her out, calling her all types of B words. Huh?
Billy loses his mind.
Yeah, Billy starts losing his mind, cussing his mom out, and then what does she do? She buys him whatever he wants. Because it says, children shall be what?
Children are their oppressors.
Right. Is it a good thing that every time you celebrate a holiday, you say, well, I'm doing it for the kids. Well, I'm doing it for the children. I'm bound to my children in a way that I'm caused to err and sin. Well, how can we celebrate Halloween? Well, it's for the kids. If I don't give them no presents, if I don't give them that costume, man, I ain't even hear the end of it. You know how many times we hear that during the holidays? Like, man, you see these dads and moms in the mall breaking down, ready to cry, because they spending racks on clothes and shoes, and they know they ain't got it. But then they're like, man, these damn kids. Because the mentality has been changed to when you were in that righteous state of mind, when you were doing things in order, the kids, they didn't have no say as far as, nigga, I'm going to make me celebrate Christmas. You going to make me celebrate Christmas. Come on, stop. You going to make me celebrate or do things because if I don't, you're going to call the police on me, you're going to divorce me. That's the thinking of children these days. Remember, it says, woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hand shall be given. So the reward of a wicked person, of a wicked nation, read verse 12.
Ask my people,
because we were wicked at this time. Go ahead.
Children are their oppressors.
This was our reward, that children were our oppressors. Read.
And women rule over them.
And what?
Women rule over them.
So, if this was the reward of the wicked, that women ruled over us, is it good that a woman is supposed to rule over her husband? Class? Read it from the top.
As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them.
Right. You see that? Hold where you at. Go to 1 Timothy 2 in verse 12. It says women rule over us. This was a punishment, man. It was a punishment that and listen, it says a wicked woman is given to the portion of a wicked man. Right? Does it not say that? So if you got a woman that's trying to rule over you, if you got children that's trying to oppress you and temper tantrums and cry every time you say no, and calling you all types of B words and calling the cops on you because you beat them, and you can't tell me what to do. I'm going to emancipate myself. Right. Or I can't wait to leave your house and do my own thing. If this is what you got going on, you need to check yourself. But it says woe unto the wicked. What is woe?
Destruction.
Woe is destruction. So what does it mean when children are your oppressors and women are leading you?
You're destroyed?
It means that you're destroyed. It means that we are destroyed. So, for you women, let's go to 1 Timothy 2 and 12. Now we're going to understand something about this scripture. Read.
God. 1 Timothy 2, verse 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach,
Read.
nor to usurp authority over the man.
Pause. It says, but I suffer not a woman to teach, comma. That's not a period. I'm trying to show y'all something here. When we read this, we got to read it. It's talking about a woman teaching or usurping authority over her man. It doesn't say I suffer not a woman to teach. Pause. Because if that's the case, who's supposed to teach the children? Don't they have a comma there?
God.
Right? So, ain't it telling you that there's two things a woman is not supposed to do concerning a man? Two things. Teach or usurp authority over him. Why? Because as we read in Isaiah, destruction comes of that. Because it wasn't given to her.
God.
Read it again.
God. But I suffer not a woman to teach.
Right? So you ain't supposed to be out here trying to spiritually break down and assess your husband. That's not your job. That's not your job to, yeah, he's off. And I'm going to, listen, Ak. Listen, Ak. Let's go these scriptures. Because your spirit's off. You sitting there trying to check your husband about his spirit. What about your spirit? Because, yeah, you can do it, and you might do it. You might even be right. You might even be right. But it don't mean that's your job. See, the woman's job was to follow her husband. Follow his lead. Now, am I saying follow his lead into wickedness? Again, is he beating you? Is he choking you? Is he, I'm going to use Kazakia's terms, is he putting out cigarettes on you? Is he hitting you with bottles and bats? Is he punching you in the face? Is he trying to put you on the block? Is he doing the hustle and flow where he got you stripping in the daytime and he's pimping you out the back of the house at night? Oh yeah, hustle and flow, he was wrong. What was that boy's name? In Hustle and Flow?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he was wrong. He was a pimp. Is he pimping you? No. DJ had one chick in the club and one chick out at the house and another one pregnant. One stripping and two pimping. Come on. But is your husband doing that? So it's not up to you to sit here and say, well, let me look into my husband's spirit real quick. I don't like the way he's moving. Does your husband got battles? Of course. We all got battles. Now, is it for you to use his battles to try to justify why he can't take the lead? Of course not. But sisters do it, man. Some of y'all are real sly and slithery when it comes to the way you do things. You'll take your husband's battle, throw it in his face, and be like, see, that's why you can't lead. Because look, you're still doing this, and this. But what about you? You're still trying to usurp authority that was never given to you. Look up the word usurp. Usurp, excuse me. Let's look it up. I know we've been through this.
I think I got it off the top.
What you got off the top?
To like just suck the energy, right?
Well, not suck the energy, but to take something.
Yeah.
What you got?
Usurp. Take a possession of power or importance.
It says to do what?
Take a possession of power or importance.
So read 1 Timothy 2 and verse 12.
God, but I suffer not a woman to teach,
Comma.
nor to usurp authority over the man.
Right. So I suffer a woman not to teach the man or to take his power. What you got?
Usurp, to seize and hold possession by force.
Yeah, because some of y'all take the power of your husband or you try to take it by force. What's that force? Your emotion. You get all emotional and then you get overbearing with your emotions. Or, this is the most common one.
Bring it out.
This is the most common one that sisters do. Your husband says, hey, I'm thinking that we should, I like this car over. Man, I want to get a good example. Because sisters be doing this and I hate it. And it irks me. Sharashana.
The TV, the 85-inch TV.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to use that. I don't want to use that. I want to use, it's more like, let's go do something. The husband says, okay, we need to do this with the kids. We need to homeschool the kids, right? Because the world is wicked, and I don't want them to be exposed to the drugs and all the stuff in school.
Okay.
And the wife is like, homeschool? Nigga, that's whack. I ain't trying to homeschool them. They need to go to school because that's what I'm used to. And it's like, nah, babe, we can do it. If we team up like Spider-Man and Batman, right? If we Spider-Man up, Batman and Robin,
God.
damn, I don't care if it's Superman and Supergirl. But if we make a team, we can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, I don't want to do that. And it's like, nah, but we can do it. And then instead of saying and using her brain and saying, well, yeah, we can do that. She's like, nah, fine, you just do it. You got it. But in the way of everything falls on you now. All the consequence. Basically like, yeah, nigga, if you know best, then you got it. It ain't in the spirit of, you know what I mean, Sharashana, right? You know what I mean. Sisters do that. It's like, fine, you do it then. You handle it.
Well, the thing is that a lot of times women think that they know more than the men.
No, not a lot of the times. All the time.
Well, once that you've learned.
Right?
And then you're thinking that sometimes men are just saying things without thinking, but sometimes we don't know that you guys already thought that through before you even brought it to us.
Right. We counseled. We talked about it.
And I'm saying that because I'm learning myself. He's like, we're going to fly to the moon tomorrow. We're like, no, it's not going to work. We're going to fall. It's not going to
Right.
He's like, no, we got it. I got this, and
We already built the jet.
He already got everything figured out. We're like, okay.
Yeah, we've already built the jet. But the first thing that comes into y'all is doubt. We gonna get there, but the first thing that enters into the wife is doubt, or a way that it can't happen the way that we say it to happen, because you already got a different plan in your head. And then when we don't go with the way you want, you like, fine, you got it. You might as well say, fine, you got it, nigga. You might as well say that.
Oh, don't.
You might as well just add that last word in there because the tone.
Right.
Like, fine, you do it then.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Nigga. You might as well say that. Because that's how you come off. You come off with that, yeah. Since you know, you got it. You good. Right? I'm good. You good. In New York talk, when you say you good, that means you got it.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Right? And then it's like, nah, you sure? Yeah, nah, you handle it. But the way you say it is like, yeah, basically it's gonna fail and you gotta deal with the consequence. Not in a way of, okay, babe, I'm gonna take your lead, I'm gonna follow you, and if it don't work out, I'm here with you. It's us together. Mm-hmm. It's more of a separation, like, yeah, bro, that's your plans. I'm gonna be over here while you working on that. And when it fails, what am I gonna do?
I told you so.
See, I told you, and I said, and I'm
Waiting for that.
waiting. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, or I don't want to say I told you so. You just said it.
Mm-hmm.
You just said it. Because why? You want to usurp that authority. You want to hold on. Man, y'all be gripping that authority. Y'all be gripping it. It's like y'all get the little workout thing and strengthen your wrists. They gave you that in the world when you were born. Here, get them wrists right so you can hold on to that authority that wasn't yours.
Say judo lock it.
They said, listen, you don't got to be subject. You are the authority. That's the problem. That's what you've been taught. That's what the black woman has been taught. Black, Hispanic, Native American. It don't matter if you damn super jet black all the way to light skin. The same mentality has been bred into our people from the jump. Read it one more time. What you want to say, Major? Read First Timothy 2:12.
Right. 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 12.
You got the Isaiah. Go ahead.
But I suffer not a woman to teach.
So the woman wasn't supposed to teach, comma. Go ahead.
Nor to usurp authority over the man.
Or usurp authority over her man. Now, Can the wife suggest things?
Come.
Can we compromise? Yeah, I'm down for compromise. I'm down for getting my wife's input on things. Hey, babe, I'm about to go buy this washing machine. What you think? Should I get the set or just the washing machine? Whatever you want. Nah, bro, I'm trying to get your input. I'm trying to get you to think. I'm trying to get you on the level to see things the way I see it. To use your brain and the spirit the way I use it. So I might not be around. You got to be able to think on a level that's going to be what?
Be pleasing.
Pleasing to the Most High and not lead you to destruction. It said, woe unto the wicked that are led of women and of children. Now, some women are forced into that position. But does that mean that they got to be destroyed? Of course not, right? If you're using wisdom, you should be fine. But there's no way you got a husband at home and you're the leader as a woman. I'm sorry. That is destruction and chaos waiting to happen. Because then now, if you do have children, what are they looking at? Who they looking at as the authority? Mom. You got a son and your wife is, you have a son and your wife is overmastering you, overbearing on you, and your son is looking at that like, oh, okay, that's the type of woman I need. I need a woman like mom's.
Oh, man.
So what's he going to get? A disgruntled, bitter, power-hungry, overbearing, emotional bag of bones. Right? Because that's what he sees. And then what is he going to be? A bitter, disgruntled Israelite man. But not applying proper wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Because we all, as men, know what it says in 1 Timothy. This is why it says that. Jump back to Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12 and start from, oh my people. Go ahead.
Oh my people, they which lead thee, come.
It says they which lead thee. Now, the scripture told us that it was women and children that were leading. Right? It says they which lead thee, come on.
Cause thee to err.
They do what?
Cause thee to err.
Yeah, see, when a woman is leading a man, that's what causes error. When you're trying to usurp authority, is the sound still bad?
Yeah.
Very bad?
It's that when they read, it sounds really loud and it's like a noise after.
Once you turn the mic.
Well, Shara is saying to take away the mics and re-add them and see if it's going to work after that. Because it has two mics right now and it sounds like it, like this one isn't on.
Oh, okay.
So you sound like you're in a cave. You sound really bad.
Well, I am. I'm in Russia. I'm in the caves of Russia.
I don't want
to be in the Caucasus Mountains. I don't want to be in those mountains. I'd be like in a cave, I'd be in the cave of what is it? In Colorado, they got the Garden of the Gods. They got the cave of the winds and all that. Be up in there. But it says, as for my people, children are their oppressors. You gotta hear this. Oh yeah.
That's the one that was on.
We're good?
Yes, but the Yeti mic was on there too and it didn't sound good, but we need that one.
Let me know when it's back on.
You can start talking again.
Oh, it's back on? Okay, sorry about that. We're trying to get the sound right. So I'm trying to show y'all this point, man, about, listen, if women leading the nation was destruction for the nation, imagine what it's going to be for your household. I know you think like, yeah, well, that's my house and that's how I was built and that's how I was raised and that's what I was shown. But now step back and look at your house. Are you always arguing with your husband? Is there chaos? How are your children? Do they want to be there?
Does your husband want to be there?
Does your husband want to be there? Does he find every excuse not to be home? He got a job after a job after a job. Every minute he got somewhere to be or something to do. Because you're trying to take something that the Most High didn't give you. See, it leads to destruction. Read on.
And destroy the way of thy paths.
Right. See, this is how the pathway to righteousness is destroyed. Because the woman wants to take that authority that wasn't given to her. Now, since you were given this, you know the sad part is, Satan is a real trickster, man. Because Satan gave you the rulership. Mm-hmm. He gave you the authority, the fake authority. Right. Because you really don't have it. Right. That's why things ain't going your way. That's why your household ain't functioning to high capacity. Because he told you, like, yeah, you can be the leader. You're the independent woman. He gave you the feminist movement. He gave you lesbians, right? And made you get equal pay with the man. And all of a sudden you in there. So you bring that home to your husband like, see, nigga, I get a paycheck too. I make more than you now. But you know what was sad about that? Satan didn't give you the wisdom to wield that power. He just said, you got it. It's like giving a 12-year-old the key to a Ferrari. And just said, drive. You didn't get no driver's ed. You didn't take no driving tests. He just gave you the keys and was like, yeah, it's out front, you got it. That's how women with no wisdom, that's how y'all yield your power. You like a 12-year-old behind the wheel of a Porsche. You just step on the gas and go, watch. Go to Ezekiel 34 and verse 4. And this is how we know, because when there was proper rulership, like think about it, when Solomon was in rulership, and he prayed to the Most High for what? Wisdom, knowledge, understanding, correct? Most High gave it to him. And he wanted that to be able to rule the people the right way. What did Solomon accomplish? Peace. What he had 40 years of what? Peace. Solomon had 40 years of peace. So in that 40 years, what was going on? Businesses were flourishing. The people were flourishing, right? Sickness was low. All these different things that you see in society where it's like, damn, homeless rate skyrockets, drugs, disease, all these things are uncontrollable. Now in Solomon's time, the whole world was at peace for the most part. Now, when it says that the leaders of this people cause them to err and the pathways are destroyed, I'm going to show you something. Ezekiel 34 and verse 4.
Ezekiel chapter 34 verse 4.
Come on.
The disease have ye not strengthened.
The what?
The disease have ye not strengthened.
Go ahead.
Neither have ye healed that which was sick.
Hey, but I thought the black woman was God. I thought she was a princess. I thought that she was the supreme being over everything. It says the disease you have not healed. You got the rulership from Satan. You got the keys to the car, but you didn't do nothing with it. You didn't heal the sick. Read.
Neither have ye bound up that which was broken.
You didn't fix the nation. You didn't fix our people. If the black woman is God, if your leadership and your usurping of the authority that wasn't given to you was right, how come none of these things are getting done? This is talking about on a mega scale of the nation. Now let's go into your house. Let's deal with that. Are you a pillar of rest to your husband? Or are you the pillar that he leans against? Are you the doorpost that he leans against and it's like a snake where he gotta run off? Are you comfort to your husband? Are you his balance? Are you the safety from the world that he wants to come home to? Right. Well, it says right here, read it again.
Neither have ye bound up that which was broken.
Go ahead.
Neither have ye brought again that which was driven away.
Read.
Neither have ye sought that which was lost.
Read.
But with force.
But by what?
With force.
See, by force, by bitterness, by anger, by being disgruntled, by lack of understanding, read.
And with
with what? Cruelty. Yeah, with that evil eye towards your husband. Read.
Have you ruled them?
This is how you rule. You rule with that evil eye towards your children. You rule with that evil eye towards your husband.
Rule with that mouth.
You rule, yeah, you rule with all them words.
I was gonna say that, like in a house, when the woman is the one who's making all the decisions and having to come up with everything, then she's always mad.
Yeah.
As opposed to the one who, as the man, and she kind of just does what he says. It's a lot easier, I think.
You would think it would be a lot easier. She said, what she said, if y'all, I'm not sure if y'all can hear her online. She said in a household where the woman is always trying to take leadership and make all the decisions and my way, it's my way or the highway, that woman is always mad. Well, the scriptures say a woman that maintaineth her man is full of impudence, right? That maintenance is you. It's not just, I'm always giving it, maintaining him money financially, monetarily, but you try to maintain this level of rulership in your house where you see it. You see it. There's always bitterness. There's always anger. There's always petty arguments in these households. Because this woman hasn't learned that it's not always it's never, and it should never be your way or the highway. It should be, okay, it ain't my way. Well, let's see what he wants to do. And then we counsel about it. If he gets my opinion and he don't go with it, that's not the okay for me to wait out. And see, you never listen to what I'm saying, and we just ain't going with your way right now. I was just bringing it to you out of courtesy. Y'all know that your husband he don't have to bring things to your attention as far as, hey, I'm about to get the 85-inch TV, what do you think? He ain't gotta do that. I'm about to go get the washing machine, what do you think? That's done out of trying to, you know what that's done out of? Trying to, again, bring you to the level of understanding of why things are done the way they're done. Trying to get you to understand the method to the madness. But see, y'all take that opportunity to wig out. You take that opportunity to say, well, see, we don't need that. Or we don't need to get it. We don't need to get it the way you want to get it. Well, how are we going to get it then? If your way is the right way. How are we going to get it? If your way was the way to get the washing machine, how come we ain't got one?
Right.
How come we've been without one for months? I'm using the washing machine as a... I just have to get a washing machine. If your way was the way, how come we went months without one? If your leadership was right, how come it took this long? You got a question online? What's the question?
Does that apply also with siblings? A sister with a child living with her brother, not to usurp authority over the man?
How old is the child? Wait, say it one more time.
Does that apply also
to siblings?
Yeah.
Right?
A sister with a child living with her brother.
A sister with a child living with her brother?
Did the sister usurp
Yeah.
authority over the brother?
You're not supposed to usurp authority over your brother. It says usurp authority over the man. It didn't see that 2 Timothy didn't say I suffer not a woman to teach her husband or usurp authority over her husband. It said I suffer not a woman to teach nor usurp authority over the man. So if he's a man, you ain't supposed to be taking authority over him. If that's your brother, you need to fall back and let him lead. Now again, is it to lead into damnation and destruction? No. If he's an unwise man, if you're under his roof, there's a reason why you at his house. And that there's a reason why you have to move in with him and he didn't have to move in with you. He knows how to maintain a house.
That's right.
So there might be something you need to learn from that.
That's right.
I mean, let's be real about it. You moved in with him. It's his way. That's his house. If my sister moved in with me, I got a 4-year-old sister. If she moved in with me, she got to do what the hell I say. I'm not gonna treat her like she's my damn wife. But she got to fall under my house rules if she's there. My own mom. If my mom came to live with me, it's my rules. Am I gonna be a brute beast animal about it? No, of course not. But still, she got to fall under the authority of that man. You got brothers that their mom and their wife live with them. And the mother, she ain't sitting there like, okay, son, let me rip into you with these scriptures. No. She understands her role as a mother. Right? She understands her role and knows that that man under the Most High in Christ has the rulership. He has the authority. Now, if a mother can understand that, how come some sisters can't? Think about it. This is a woman that done held this baby in her room for months, pushed him out, 30-hour labor, right? Raised them all the way into whatever age. And now she's able to understand through the wisdom and through the scriptures that, okay, he's the man of the house. If I'm here living with him, then he has the rulership. So you got some women that understand that. But you got some women that's like, hell no. I gotta grip onto this authority. I like it. You like it. Let's be real. You like it. But you know what you like? You like the destruction. You like the arguing. That's what fuels you. You like to get emotional. But that's all that comes. Read it one more time. Ezekiel 34 verse 4. Read.
The disease have you not strengthened.
Right?
Neither have you healed that which was sick.
Now, we know this chapter is going into the pastors, the shepherds, right? That were supposed to rule over the people. But I'm trying to show you that when a woman takes the authority over her husband and doesn't want to follow but wants to be the leader in every instance, this is what happens. See, real leaders are supposed to heal the sick, bound up the things that were broken. That's what a real leader does. But it wasn't appointed for the woman to do that. Because if so, then we wouldn't be destroyed. Read on.
Neither have ye bound up that which was broken.
Go ahead.
Neither have ye brought again that which was driven away.
Go ahead.
Neither have ye sought that which was lost.
Read. What was that? You know why? You know why that's not happening under the rulership of the woman? Because you don't care about them things. You don't care about bounding up anything that's broken and finding what's lost. That's not in your mind. The carnal things be on y'all's mind, man. What we gonna eat? What we gonna drink? Y'all ain't worried about the spiritual. A lot of sisters ain't worried about that. You worried about getting my nails did, hair did, everything did. You worried about what this girlfriend's talking about, what that girlfriend's talking about, what's going on in their house over here. You worried about the wrong things, so the things that matter, they don't even get taken care of. Kids are starving, hungry, depressed. But you lost in Cardi B land. You lost in the weekend land. You lost in celebrity land. Now I wonder where 21 Savage is going to live. He just got deported. Where he going to move to? You lost in Instagram. You lost in all the wrong things. But the real leaders, the real leadership was supposed to be doing these things. Read on.
By force.
And then by force, by your emotions, by your anger, by the bitterness that was instilled in you through your mom, grandma, your great-granny, the great-great-great-granny, through all that bitterness and anger. Go ahead.
And with cruelty have you ruled them.
And again, with that evil eye towards your husband, this is how you rule. This is how you rule your children. So what good is going to come from that? Read on.
And they were scattered.
And then things get scattered. Read.
Because there is no shepherd.
Yeah, ain't no real leader trying to keep things together. Because it's not the woman's job to do that. It ain't your job to keep things together. That's your husband. That's him to spiritually assess and break down and show you where you're at. Not your job. That authority was given to him. But see, things get scattered. Listen, don't no man want to be around no loud, brawling woman. He said, I'd rather dwell on a rooftop. I'd rather live with lions and dragons than be with a loud, brawling woman, disgruntled, taking authority that ain't hers, always telling you what to do, nagging. A nagger. Oh my God.
That's why I brought that one scripture.
Oh my God.
That's what.
You're always nagging about something. Babe, how come you don't da. You ain't got to tell me when to do the dishes. I see that they're dirty, I'm doing them. Now, even if you're dealing with a man who ain't got no wisdom, right? That still doesn't give you the range. It still doesn't give you the authority it still doesn't give you the right to usurp the authority. You gotta let that man grow. You know, you got a lot of sisters that came into the truth before their husband. It happens. But that's not your okay to try to master over this man. That's not the okay to say, well, see, I got 6 months extra worth of scriptures than you, so now I can tell you what to do. Hell nah. Now that you know not to usurp authority, fall back. Hang your hat on that scripture. That's where you're supposed to hang your hat now. You got scriptures. 1 Timothy 2:12 should be the one you hang your hat on. Like, let me not usurp authority. Let me give him the lead. Let me give him the leeway. But not in the way that y'all do it, man. Not in the, yeah, nigga, do it yourself, man. Hey, you got it. And you sitting there waiting for him to fall so you can just be like, see, I told you. I knew it wasn't going to work. Why would you want that for your house? You got to ask yourself, what type of person are you if you're looking for the downfall of your household? What mind state are you in? Read on.
And they became meat to all the beasts of the field.
Right, it said that they were scattered because there's no shepherd. Because a woman that's trying to lead, a woman that has taken the authority from her man and is holding on to it, you ain't no real leader. You ain't no real shepherd. You just a placeholder waiting to be brought down. You just an example that the Most High is going to use to show why you shouldn't usurp authority over your man. Go to Exodus 23 and verse 2. And this is what we got to understand. You know, you were think about when you were in the world, man, and you were so willing to follow. You were willing to follow your little boyfriends, right? You were willing to follow him into everything. You were willing to follow him to the weed man, to the liquor store, to the strip club. You followed in every little thing like a little puppy. You were like a little puppy in the world, just tagging along, right? You didn't have no say-so. Oh, we want to smoke this blunt. Just roll it up. Oh, we want to drink this drink. You didn't even ask what it was. You just gulping. Oh, we're going to go over here. Fine, I'm with it. But then you come into the truth, you get the wisdom, and it's like, nah, nigga, I'm gonna check everything. What you trying to give me a drink? Oh, why you cooking that? Why you doing it like that? And all of a sudden you want to be Mr. I'm gonna check everything. Or excuse me, Mrs. I'm gonna check everything. But in the world, you were just with whatever, man. You was in the world just getting tossed to and fro, down for everything. If one boyfriend liked it this way, you did it. Scrambled eggs. Got the next boyfriend, over easy. You learned how to do over easy. The next dude was like, man, I like omelets. You were like, well, screw it. I'm gonna learn how to cook omelets. You followed it and didn't question. What's up, Jermaine? Why are you laughing, man?
I'm just laughing at the story.
No, but it's real. It's real. It goes for the men too. The men, listen, in the world, man, us men did it too. You followed every Joe Schmo down every alley. You followed every little chick, what she wanted, and you get the truth, and it's like, all of a sudden, you got to second guess everything. All of a sudden, I need a scripture for that, Doc. Hey, can we don't go over here and do, where's that in the Bible? We don't go over here and do flyers. We don't teach people. Wait, Doc. Every other day we don't do that? Where's that in the scriptures?
Where's that?
All of a sudden, you need justification?
Right.
But it's the same thing with you women. Everything needs to be now, well, where's that in the Bible? What you mean, where's that in the Bible? The scriptures say be subject to your husband. That's where it's at. I don't need to put a scripture every time you get out of order and I'm trying to put you back in order, or every time I need you to do something, I gotta put a scripture. Come on, man. But see, that's another way, that's another form of women trying to use that authority. Again, you got women that came into the knowledge before their husband. So they might have an extra scripture or two under their belt. But they use it wrong. Go to Exodus 23 and verse 2. Read.
Exodus chapter 23, verse 2.
Come on.
Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
Yeah, but see, you weren't supposed to follow the multitude to do evil. You were supposed to follow the righteous. But you weren't taught that. You were just taught like, yeah, go there, go here, go here. Don't ask no questions. Just show up. Come on, man. How many times in the world you got the phone call like, hey, meet me down the block? And you didn't ask no, you just met him, you met whoever down the block.
Right.
Little dude text you, come to the window. And you just ran to the window like, peek it out. Could have been somebody with a damn scope on you or whatever. You didn't question anything. You just ran. But the scriptures tell us, don't follow the multitude to do evil. From there, go to 1 Peter 4, verse 3. 1 Peter 4 and verse 3. Read.
1 Peter chapter 4, verse 3.
Read.
For the time past of our life will suffice us to have brought.
Read it again.
Salah. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 3. For the time past of our life may suffice us to the will of the Gentiles.
It says, for the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles. See, the will of the Gentiles was for you to just follow every evil thing. Follow the ways of the world. Follow what society says. Oh, it's cutoff jean season. Gotta get my cutoff jeans. Oh, it's head wrap season. Gotta get my head wrap. Oh, it's modest season. Gotta be modest. Oh, it's hoochie season. Gotta be a hoochie. That's how they do it in the world. They got seasons for modesty. If y'all didn't know that. They got a whole modesty movement where chicks dress up just like wholesome Israelite women. Head wraps, skirts, everything nice and loose fitting. That's a movement. But then with this whole movement, with this whole time, everybody's on Cardi B, butt naked, twerking. Cardi B's bringing twerking back, if y'all didn't know that. Thought that was dead, and then you know it's back. She made a video with just booties clapping. God. So you know you're going to see all the videos of women back doing what?
Twerking.
Following Cardi B. But see, in your past life, you follow Lil' Kim, you follow Nicki Minaj, you follow the Gentiles and what they wanted, man. You follow society's way of thinking, which was what? Get a man, use him, abuse him, treat him like crap, make him feel little, and then withhold, use sex as a weapon. Right? The world taught you all these things. How to use your sexuality as a weapon. To keep men trapped. To get what you want. This is what you were taught. This was the will of the Gentiles. That's what they do. That was your past life. Go ahead.
God. When we walk in lavishness.
When we walk in lasciviousness. Somebody look that up.
Lasciviousness.
So the world taught you to walk in lasciviousness. Somebody get that? We're going to look these words up, man, because I want to show y'all what you were chasing. And it's sad. Because sisters will...
Lasciviousness.
You'll run after lasciviousness, lust. You'll run after all these negatives. But you got a husband that's trying to lead you the right way. You're like, yeah, I ain't following that, nigga.
God.
What you got for lasciviousness?
It says, inclined to lustfulness, wanton, lewd,
right?
Lascivious, girl chasing old man.
Yeah, damn.
Arousing.
Yeah. See, you'll run to the lewd acts of the world. You'll be the chick on Instagram flashing your boobs. You'll be that person. You'll be the one dressed provocatively, scandalously clad in the club, nipple rings pierced, showing. You'll be that. You'll run to that. What else?
Arousing sexual desires.
Yeah, you'll run to all the sexual desires that are proposed to you. You'll hop on every beef. You'll run around to that easily. But it's like, nah, babe, we're going to keep the Sabbath. Like, what the hell are you talking about, Sabbath? No, we're not doing that. That's not what I was taught. Or, let's do it this way. Let's go to this restaurant. And we ain't going to that restaurant. I don't like it over there. Everything you don't like. Everything you got to question. What else?
I got lascivious photographs indicating sexual interest.
Yeah, listen, you'll meet a dude, you'll get his number in the mall. Now, this ain't none of the righteous sisters in here. This ain't none of the righteous sisters online. I'm talking about when you was in your backsliding days. You meet a dude in the mall, and the first thing he hits you is, send me a pic. It ain't no face shot. It ain't no mug shot. And you're like, what kind of pic? And he's like, boobies. And you don't even second question it. You're like, come on, sir. Come on, man. That got me up here feeling like I ain't talking, like I don't know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's real as hell.
For real.
What picture you want? You're actually asking what kind of pic you want. And he's like, not your face.
Yeah.
And use your imagination.
God.
And next thing you know, you sitting there snapping them off.
All kind of angles.
And guess what? Your face ain't in none of them, right? But you got all the angles. But you didn't question it. You didn't question his motives. Where he was going. You didn't say, damn, if I send these photos, what is he going to do with them later? When I decided not to talk to this guy or cut him off or whatever the case may be, and he got all these photos of you butt naked, you didn't question that. You were just like, sure. Front facing camera, all that. Make sure the lighting was good. You didn't question. You didn't question. And some of y'all brothers know what's up because y'all were asking for the damn photos. So y'all know what's up. But my point is, in the time past, in that former life, listen, man, you ran to that. You already had them stored on the phone, ready to send them out. Go ahead. So your lasciviousness, you ran to that. What else? Lust of the flesh, whatever it was. If you ate too much, if you drank too much, if you saw everything that you couldn't have and lusted after it, if it was sexual lust, you gave into that. Here, drink this. Here, drink this. You in the club and all you hear is drink this, drink. You ain't questioning, well, what is it? You're not putting a limit on yourself. You're like, oh, well, we said to drink it. You ran to that. Here, smoke this. You didn't question, well, maybe he laced the weed that I'm about to puff. You were just like, I'm having a good time. What bad can come of this? Read.
Excess of wine.
Excess of what?
Wine.
Yeah. All that drinking you did in your past life, all of a sudden now all of a sudden your husband's like, hey babe, let's go have a drink and celebrate, whatever it may be. Nah, I'm good. Nah, I ain't doing that. But bro, in your past life, you were a bibber of wine. You were a wine bibber. You was hitting bottles of Henny raw with no chase, straight Remy. But all of a sudden now, your husband's like, hey, let's have a drink, let's relax. No, I'm good. You're anti and perverse when it comes to everything. Go ahead, read. Revelings. That's the excess of wine and partying. You was the party girl. You was the free at the club before 10 every Thursday. Brunch on Sundays. Ladies' night on Mondays. Oh, you had to hit Saturday and Friday just to fill in the gaps. The only day you rested, no, because Tuesday you went to happy hour. Wednesday you went to happy hour. That excess of wine, you didn't question like, damn, I'm going to get sick from this. You didn't question like, damn, if I drink too much, I got to wake up tomorrow to go to work. You were like, let's do it. Party, turn up. Turn down for what? They still say that? I don't know. I'm getting old, man. But you didn't question where you was going, who you was going to be with. You just heard drinks. Y'all ever get that text? Drinks? Exclamation. And you just showed up, right? Who we drinking with? What we drinking? All these things that should have been asked, you didn't. But now, when you get into a situation where it's time for you to follow the lead of your husband, yeah, right. He ain't saying like, let me get the Remy bottle. We're gonna drink 4 or 5 of those tonight, and I'm gonna expect you to have to wake up for work tomorrow. Or we're gonna drink, get plastered, get hammered, and then drive around town and act retarded. He ain't telling you to do the things you did 10 years ago. He said, hey, let's have some wine. Let's sip some wine, babe. It's good for the health. right? Let's sip some wine with it. No, I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to drink with you. Or you always, because you don't get drunk. Like, so don't question what I'm doing. Or if you drink, you snore. You hear like the most dumbest excuses to not do things. Well, every time you drink a beer and you snore, so I ain't drinking. They just be dumb excuses, man, that don't even justify why not. Just follow. Have a good time. Sometimes that's needed to break up the monotony of the relationship of life, the everyday home, work, school, home, work, kids, right? You want to break that up, man. Relax a little bit when you find an excuse not to, because you want to be the authority. Read on.
Banquetings and
abominable
adulteries.
Abominable idolatries. See, these were all the things that you were into. You didn't question what you idolized. You didn't question when you went and got the little tattoo right here of the Weeknd's OVO symbol. You didn't question that. When you got XO right here on your shoulder, and you were like, yeah, I love the Weeknd. XO until my death. You didn't sit back and say, damn, should I get that or not? You didn't contemplate. You just went and did it. Because you were probably drunk when you did it. You didn't question when you tattooed yourself. You didn't question it. Like what? You didn't question any of the decisions you made in that former life. And all those decisions you made were idiotic. They all profited nothing. They were death. But you didn't question that. But how come you question that now? How come when it's time to attain onto the right path, how come when it's time to follow righteousness, you're like, yeah, Mafia, why is it hard to follow? I'm gonna get y'all's opinion now. Why is it hard to follow? Why was it so easy in the former life to just go with things? And now, in this attainment of the kingdom, why is it so hard to follow? What do you think? I'm not saying you in particular, but what do you think is the issue with sisters?
It has to be because they don't want to. I don't.
But why don't you want to?
Controlling. I mean, you want to control the situation, whatever.
You want to do what?
Control the situation.
Because you still want to control situations.
Right.
What do you think, Arataziah? Why is it hard to? You can speak generally. Why is it hard for sisters to just follow? Especially, we know ain't no men in here. And we ain't selling drugs, right? We ain't beating our women. We ain't trying to pimp them. We ain't trying to get them high. All we saying is lock in to my faith. That's all we saying is follow my faith. Why is that so hard for sisters? What do you think?
Maybe it's hard because we've been, I guess, like indoctrinated with the media, these shows, how the women act, like these reality shows, and we do that.
Right. So you look at the reality TV, you look at social media. So what does that say about reality TV, social media, and the ways of the world?
They're wicked.
They're definitely off and wicked. But what does it say for the person or the sister that is constantly on her phone like this? As soon as she sits down Instagram, you can hear the sound of her thumb whisking up and down the screen.
Yep.
And then the double tap. You can hear it. Double tap for the heart on Instagram. That's all it is oh, it's not. What are you giving yourself to? See, that's the problem. Or you just sit there just watching TV. You just sit there and just, you can tell me all about Cardi B from when she was on, what was she on? Love of Hip Hop, all the way to now. But you can't really break down your own spirit. You can't tell me about your children. You can tell me about Cardi B's whole career, but you can't break down what level your kids read on, or what level they should be on, or how come they don't act the way they should. You can't assess that.
It says how to manage the house.
Yeah, you don't know how to order your house right as a woman.
Okay.
That's right. But you can break down Cardi B's whole career from Love and Hip Hop. Before, you can tell me when she was stripping and what club. See, it has to be a change of direction of what am I giving myself? What am I putting in my spirit? Too much social media, man. Y'all, you know what it is? You know when it says that lust? You lusting after what you see on social media. That's why you want it. You're looking at the life that you want. Because you don't want to be in subject. You want to be the woman on, you want to be the Instagram model. You want to be the chick on the beach just sitting there with nothing to do. You want to be that Corona commercial. That's what you want deep down inside. So but all you can do is just flick through it and wish. Now when it's time to get busy and get to work, it's like a battle. It's a fight to get you to do your purpose. Where it shouldn't be. Go to Romans 6:21. So we understand that in times past, it might have sufficed you. In times past, when it said suffice,
God,
it might have filled you up to do all these things. It might have satisfied you to do these things. That was in times past, but what about now? See, in all these things that you did, whether it was running after the lust, the excess of wine, the ravelings, the banquetings, the abominable idolatries, the lasciviousness. Romans 6:21 poses a question for us. Read that.
God, Romans chapter 6, verse 21.
Come on.
I find then a law.
Romans 6:21.
God, Salah. What fruit have ye then in those things wherefore ye are not ashamed?
Read it again.
Salah. What fruit have ye then in those things wherefore ye are now ashamed?
Yeah. See, in your past life, you was the leader. You was the HBIC, right? Head chick in charge. Nobody can tell you nothing. And you followed all these things in the past life. But where's the fruits of that? Where's the fruits of being the head chick? Where's it at? I mean, can somebody tell me? Where is the things, where is the fruits of you usurping authority over the man? Where is the fruits of what Satan gave you, which was that fake power? Where's it at? I mean, when a king rules, what does he get? They pay him tribute.
Royalties.
He gets royalties, right? Where's your residuals? Where are they at? Well, I'll tell you what it is. Because you have it. I'll tell you what it is. It's bitterness. Because you hated that you were being used and abused in the world. See, you thought that you were in control, but you weren't. So now you're bitter. Now you're upset. Now you feel used. Now you don't feel appreciated. Because you're not getting the same response that you got in the world. Yeah, you might do a good job at hearing the truth. You know, sisters, they do a lot. Sisters do a lot. Not taking away from that. But you might not always get that congratulations. You did that. Or look at the great job the sisters did. Or look at the great job she did on this or on that. You might not get that openly where in the world it was like, oh my God, she did that? Oh my God. And everybody was hitting you up and texting you like, that was wonderful. So now you feel underappreciated because no one's giving you the praise. Y'all see that?
God.
Now you're feeling used up because all the things that happened in the world, in your past life, it tainted you. So what does that bring? It brings that disgruntled, hard head, stiff neck. I went through so much in the world trying to be the boss. But it costs to be the boss. Ain't that what it says?
God.
It costs to be the boss. Right?
God.
Please. It costs to be the boss, man. But see, what you gave up to have that rulership, it took a lot out of your spirit. He needs to tone it down just a bit. Can't reach so loud in the mic. It sounds muffled. Does it sound better? Let me turn my mic down a little bit. I didn't realize.
It's not really your mic, it's when the brothers read.
Oh, it's when they read?
Yeah.
Is there a way to move this mic towards me?
Which one?
This one?
This one's
Yeah.
not working, sir.
Oh, it's not?
That's
why
why
you
it
have to
sounds
turn
like
that
that, because that's not working.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Maybe we need to.
So just don't read so loud.
Check somewhere.
Yeah. My phone's on silent, so if y'all would text me, I'm not seeing it. Read Romans 6:21 one more time.
God, what fruit had ye then in those things wherefore ye are now ashamed?
Right, because when you have this rulership, this fake leadership, where's the fruits of that? Where is it? Well, the fruits are arguments in your house and discord. And your husband feeling belittled and not feeling like a man. You got men that, man, I don't even feel like a man. Because what do you got? You got his loins wrapped around your finger. Because that's what the world taught you to do. I'm gonna tie him around my little pinky finger like a bow. Whatever I say, I get. I'm gonna straight up say it, that's a whorish mentality, man. It's not a good mentality to have. It's gonna cause a lot of pain. Read on.
God, for the end of those things is death.
Right. The end of those things are death, man. The end of you trying to lead, of you trying to take the authority, that's death. That's death to you. That's death for your children. A lot of y'all ain't got kids, but you're planning to, or you want to, or on the verge of. What are you going to teach your children? What are you going to teach the little daughter that comes out of you? How to be mad, upset, take charge in every situation, not let her husband lead the way. All you're doing is handing down death to her by way of arguments, by way of bitterness, by way of contention. That's what you're handing down. You're not handing down no real inheritance. Y'all understand that?
God.
1 Corinthians 6 and verse 9.
Con. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 9.
Right?
Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God?
Go ahead.
Be not deceived, neither fornicators.
Right? And the reason why I'm going here is to show you what we were in this past life. These are the things that we were in the past life. Read.
Nor idolaters.
So we were fornicators, idolaters. This is what, without the proper leadership, this is what we were. This is what a nation being led by women and wicked men, this is what we became. Read.
Nor adulterers. Nor effeminate.
Right, so you were an adulterer because that's what you did in the past life. Adultery. You ran around, you thought that you was in control and you was in charge, so I'm Mrs. Take her husband. Some women got that title. Right? Go ahead.
No abusers of themselves with mankind.
Read.
No thieves.
Yeah, some of y'all were thieves, man. Little makeup stealers. Walk into CVS, steal some foundation, steal a chapstick and lipstick.
To Walmart.
But a true leader don't gotta be a thief. A true leader don't gotta take somebody else's partner. Go ahead.
No covetous.
You were covetous. A lot of you sisters were covetous, man. Everything you saw, you wanted. Go ahead.
No drunkards.
You were drunk. Read.
No revelers.
No
extortioners. Shall inherit the kingdom of God.
Read verse 11.
And such were some of you.
And what?
Such were some of you.
Yeah. Even when you thought you had that rulership, even when you thought like, I'm the woman, I'm taking charge, this was you without the wisdom. This was you because you weren't willing to follow. Y'all get that?
God.
Go to 1 Peter 3 and 1. So what we have to understand is that, what was a woman created for?
Helpmate.
She was created as a helpmate, right?
God.
And then What happened after that? I want to know if y'all know. What happened? She was created for a helpmeet.
She was
Deceived by Satan.
deceived. Con.
She was deceived, and what happened?
And Adam
followed
her.
What was the punishment?
Death.
No.
No, pain
short,
of long suffering of birth.
One at a time. If you got it, raise your hand. What was the punishment?
Long suffering, like through birth and childbearing.
That's part of it.
Following the husband.
She was supposed to do what?
Follow her husband.
Be in subjection.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was supposed to be now in total subjection. The woman was always in subjection to her husband. Let's not misunderstand. The woman was always in subjection to her husband. But now, this is total rulership. In righteousness. In right, I'm not, again, I gotta keep saying it. This doesn't give a man, well, now you're my possession. You're my wife. Now I get to beat you and mistreat you and you're a doorknob. Or a doormat. But the woman was supposed to be in total subjection in righteousness. 1 Peter 3 and verse 2.
Come on. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 2. While they behold your...
Actually, go to Genesis 3:16. Let's just read it real quick. I know some of y'all are like, wait a minute. Pump the brakes. What you mean he's supposed to have rulership over me? And I do me.
Block, I forgot the projection.
No, you're good. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 16. So after the woman was deceived, there were punishments or consequences handed down. Let's read verse 16.
Genesis 3:16.
Unto
the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
Come on.
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children.
Read.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband.
Right. See, a woman's desire was supposed to be only for her husband. Read.
All right.
You can't write while
to thy husband. And he shall rule over thee.
And he shall do what?
Rule over thee.
Yeah. See, the husband was supposed to rule over his wife. So what does that mean? That the woman was supposed to follow her husband. She was supposed to be instructed by him. Now let's go to 1 Peter 3 and verse 1.
Come on. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Likewise, ye wives.
Read.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands.
Look up that word subjection. It says, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to everybody?
To your own husbands.
To Love and Hip Hop.
To your own husband.
Wait, well, Basketball Wives of Atlanta said that I can read it again.
To your own husband.
Right, you were supposed to be in subjection to your own husband, not to social media, Instagram, not to other sisters, not to what they told you to do on TV, not to Cardi B's music, not to what it said on the radio, not what Dr. Phil said, not what Oprah said, not what Will and Jada got going on. You were supposed to be subject to your husband. What you got?
Subjection. One who is under the rule of another.
And this is the thing. You know what America did to y'all? They made this word subjection and submissive. It made these words negative.
Yep.
It says one who's what?
One who is under the rule of another.
Now, pause. Mafia, when you go to work, are you the head boss? Are you the CEO? So are you subject to who? Shawashana, are you the head boss? CEO? Owner? So what are you? And subject to someone, right? You? Allison, you the head boss? CEO? Owner? So when you go to work, aren't you not now subject? You can go this way. Yeah, because I want to see faces. All the way over. Yeah. See, now, and we talk about it a lot, man. We talk about the work and going to work and literally before your boss even asks you for something, you do it. You got it done. You got it ready. He forms his lips to say, I need, and you're like, got it, ready, got it. You in there. But your husband got to ask you 50 million times to get some fringes on a shirt. He got to ask you 10 million times, hey, can you keep your side of the room clean? Can you keep your bathroom clean? Can you make sure that you teach the kids how to do this and do that? It got to be 1,000, and he got to come all these different ways to do what? To not excite your emotions to where you're like, see, you're always picking on me. He got to come 50 million ways, but your boss, he'll send it to you in an email with no emotion. I need this done stat. He don't say ASAP, he says stat. What does stat even mean? Huh? Stat. Okay.
Like the abbreviation of it?
Yeah, what does it mean? Like I need something done stat?
Yeah.
But he'll talk to you with no emotion through an email, and you'll be like, gotta get it done, gotta get it done, gotta get it done. That's the only thing on your mind is getting what the boss said done, because you realize that you're in subjection to him. So in your mind, you're like, gotta get it done, gotta get it done, gotta get it done. You're like a little ADD kid that's like, gotta get it done. Gotta do what the boss said, gotta get it done, right? You just shaking in the chair till you get it done, rocking back and forth. And in your mind, you're programmed that when that boss says go, you're already 10 steps out the door. But when your husband says go, it's like, nigga, why? Why I gotta do like that? Why we gotta go get that? Why we gotta do it that way? But how come? But why? But why not? But I feel. How come you don't feel nothing when the boss says something? How come you didn't feel nothing in the world when it was time to go get high? I'm trying to figure it out. Why were we so willing to follow? Why were we so willing to be in subject, really the things that don't even matter? Why is there such that willingness? What else you got for subjection?
Especially one who owes allegiance to a government or ruler.
Right. What else?
The other one doesn't apply.
What you got?
Subjection.
Being
under a position.
Being under a what?
A position.
Okay.
Or in circumstances that place one under the power or authority of another.
So, subjection is being underneath a position. So what is it saying? All it's saying is this. You're underneath a position. There's a position that's above you. Does that make you the doorknob, the doorstep, the doormat? What that makes you is your husband, you, and if you have children. Because imagine if the kids weren't subject to you. It's sad, you want the kids to be subject to you, but you won't be subject to the husband, to your husband. You want your kids to follow you too. You want them to hang off at every word that comes out of your mouth. And you want to be able to talk to them and say it one time. Don't do that. Damn it. And you want them to listen. You want them to snap to it. But why your husband got to tell you the same thing 50 times before it gets through your head? You see how it works? You can't have something subject to you and you not be subject. Is the man not subject? What is he subject to?
The Most High, Yahweh.
The Most High and Christ. We're subject to both. Y'all got one thing to be subject to. We got to be subject to the Most High, to Christ, and let's be real, we still have to condescend to y'all. Not being ruled over, but at least we got to bring down the notch and dwell with y'all according to wisdom. And a lot of times that wisdom is what? Let me bring it down a little bit so she understands. It ain't let me bow down and she can step all over me. That's not the wisdom. It's let me figure out another way for her to get it. Let me figure out another way for her to come. Let me condescend to another person's conscience, to her conscience. Let me condescend. Let me figure out another way to do it. let me not be a lion in my house, but let me try to figure out how we can have this equal partnership once again. But some of y'all don't deserve that, man. I'm seeing it. A lot of y'all don't deserve to be equal partners yet. You haven't put in enough work. You haven't followed long enough to be equal partner. Some of y'all need 15, 20 years of following before your husband can say, okay, let me come to you with this and pick your brain. Because you've been leading so long, it's not equal yet, where your husband should even be equal. You gotta lose that control, man. You gotta get rid of what America has taught us. What you got?
Subjection.
Uh-huh.
The state of being under the power, control, and government of another.
Right. See, America, you know what's sad? America taught you that was wrong for you to be subject to your husband, but you could go be subject to your boss. Think about it. It's okay to go to work and be in subjection to McDonald's. That's totally fine. You want to be in subjection to Walmart, McDonald's, wherever you work, Exxon. It don't matter who you work for. You'll be in subject to that. But when it comes to you bowing down to your man, hell nah. Girl, subject? You mean he told you to do that? Nah, you ain't got to do that. You're independent. But how independent are you if you're subject to your job? Think about it. Does it really make sense? Are you really independent? Are you really a ruler? Are you really a leader? Hell nah. You've been mollywopped and bamboozled, man. You gotta see it. They tell you it's fine in one instance, but in another it's not. And the instance where they tell you it's not, that's for righteousness. But they tell you it's okay for their gain? Come on, man.
The battle that I'm seeing is like what they look at on social media. Because my ex is doing the same thing, like comparing herself to other girls, on the girls that they follow. So it seems like that's the battle. Is like, oh, okay, I can please my boss, and I'll get all these little treats.
Right. Get the booty prizes and the trinkets. Might get a little extra 15 cents raise. I might get a bigger desk. Oh, girl, he gave me the phone with the microphone on it. He gave me the headphones. I ain't got to hold the phone in my ear no more. Right? All the things. Listen, I've heard these things. He gave me the parking spot in the front. See? Or he gave me extra 10 minutes on my lunch break. See, I can show up late and ain't nobody saying nothing. These are the things that you subject yourself to. But what about subjecting yourself to your husband for righteousness? See, a lot of harm comes when you don't subject yourself. Go to Romans 13 and verse 1. Did you finish that? Let me try to hit this real quick. Go to Romans 13 and verse 1. See, this is what we fail to realize. Romans 13 and verse 1. That righteous husband that was put in front of you, there was something about him why he's there. Well, one, the woman wasn't meant to lead. That's one. She wasn't meant to take the control. And something was put there to relieve you of that job. It's job relief. But how was it put there? Read that. Romans 13:1.
God. Romans chapter 13, verse 1.
Come on.
Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
Right. Now, in a woman's case, a wife, it says she was supposed to be subject to the higher power. So the higher power is her husband. It said let every soul, every woman, be subject to the higher power. Go ahead.
For there is no power but of God.
There is what?
No power but of God.
Yeah, that man that was sent into your life, when you prayed on your knees, because all the dudes ran through you and left you high and dry, left you pregnant. As soon as you was like, I'm pregnant, he was gone, hey, my baby. He had you on Mourning, talking about it ain't his. And then you got down and you prayed like, Lord, Jesus, baby Jesus, 10-pound baby Jesus. When you prayed to all the Jesuses for that righteous man, that loving man that was going to guide you, he ordained that. The man that dropped in front of you was ordained with the Most High.
The ending of the definition goes kind of what you said.
Go ahead.
It says,
The safety of life.
The what?
The safety of life.
So to be in subjection to your husband is what?
The safety of life.
This is safety. Wow. But see, when you usurp that authority and don't want to follow and don't want to be instructed, that's where the woes come. What else you got?
Liberty and property depends on our subjection to the laws.
Yeah, this is your real liberty. This is our liberty. It's funny how it works. You subject yourself to the law just to be free. Think about it. You subject yourself to your husband to be free. But think about when you subject yourself to your boss. You know what he does? He's like, oh yeah, she'll do whatever the hell I say, so I'm going to use and abuse her. Now I'm going to work you 50 hours a week. Calling you when you're off, I need you to show up to work. No questions. You don't get no real liberty. Let's jump back. Read on.
The powers that be are ordained of God.
Yeah, that husband you prayed for, Lord Jesus, baby Jesus, give me a husband. I just need a man that loves me. I just need a man that's going to be there and listen to me. He was ordained of the Most High. Read.
Whosoever therefore riseth the power.
Resisteth. Read again.
Whosoever therefore resisteth the power.
So when you fight and kick against the pricks, when your husband is trying to rule and guide in righteousness, read.
Resist it. Resisted the ordinance of God.
He does what?
Resisted the ordinance of God.
Yeah, so you're not really resisting your husband. You're resisting the ordinance of what the Most High has, for one, laid down and sent. Go ahead.
And they that resist,
go ahead,
shall receive to themselves damnation.
They shall receive what?
Damnation.
Now you understand why your house ain't flourishing. Now you understand why, we're stagnant. We've been together for 2 months and we're stagnant. We've been together for 2 years and we're stagnant. We've been together for 5 years and it's stagnant. This is supposed to be constant growth. But you're resisting what the Most High laid down, the ordinance, the subjection. Read on.
For rulers are not a terror to good works.
Right, because your husband is he's not a terror to good works. Now when you do wrong, that's when he comes down. Go ahead.
But to the evil.
But to the what?
But to the evil.
Go ahead.
Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power?
Come on.
Do that which is good.
Right. See, when you're doing evil, that's why a lot of sisters don't want to give up that power and don't want to be subject and told nothing. Because truthfully, you're doing something off, man. You know that you're supposed to be moving a certain way and you don't want to be told, sister, put on the hair wrap. Don't talk like that. You don't even want to be told, don't think like that. Because a lot of the thoughts be off. The thoughts be off. Your justification for why you say and do things. Oh, I don't like her. Well, why not? I just don't. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Well, but why?
Right.
Oh, I just don't. I mean, this is a vibe. Huh? But that's how like, when do you hear brothers be like, I don't like him. Well, why not? I just don't. You don't really, because he said this, and it's like, damn, okay. But women be like, sisters be like, I just don't like her. She looked at me funny. Or I said something and she breathed the wrong way. It's like, what are you talking about? It's real, man. Go ahead.
And thou shalt have praise of the same.
Read. And that's the thing. It's like you want to be praised for your good works, but not told when you're doing something wrong, or not told to fix something. You want to be told all the good you've done in life, but when it's like, okay, sis, you didn't do that right, you didn't do that right, you didn't do that right, it's like, see, you hate me, or you got something against me. No, it said you should get the same praise, whether good or bad. Where we at?
Verse 4.
Go to 1 Peter 3, verse 10. 1 Peter 3, verse 10.
1 Peter chapter 3, verse 10.
Come on.
For he that will love life and see good days
right
Let him refrain his tongue from evil.
Come on.
And his lips that they speak no God.
Right. So those that love life and want to see good days, you want to get that argument, that contentious spirit. It says let him do what?
Let him keep his lips from
let him refrain his tongue from evil, and his lips that they speak no God. Verse 11.
Let him eschew evil.
Right.
And do good.
Come on.
Let him seek peace. And ensue it.
Come on.
For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous.
Right. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous. Read.
And his ears are open unto their prayers.
So, if his eyes are on the righteous and his ears on their prayers, what about the wicked? Well, what about the ones that don't want to play their position? What about the ones that don't want to follow? What about the women that want to usurp authority? What's he looking at with them? Well, you're not going to get the good days in the long life. You're going to get short days in argument. You're going to get checked left and right. It's going to be counsels all the time. Read on.
But the face of the Lord is against them that do evil.
Yeah, see, the Most High ain't dealing with you if you're doing evil, if you're not doing things in his order. Go ahead.
And who is he that will harm you if he be followers of that which is good?
Yeah, who's going to harm you if you follow the things that are good? From there, go to Ecclesiastes 26 and verse 14. Trying to run through this real fast. It's not a lot more. Ecclesiastes 26 and 14.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 verse 14.
Right. How is it that you attain this good? How is it that you attain this long life? How is it that you get it? Read.
A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord.
Right.
And there is nothing so much work as a mind well instructed.
Right. It says a silent and loving woman is a gift from the Lord. Now, how much silent and loving can you be if you're trying to usurp authority? You can't, right? If you're trying to constantly match wits for wits and wisdom for wisdom and my way to your way, then there is no silent loving. It's combative and abusive. It's ruling by fear. It's ruling by force. But it said a silent and loving woman is a gift from the Lord. Read on.
And there is nothing so much work as a mind well instructed.
As a mind what?
Well instructed.
This is how you attain. You have to allow your mind to be instructed. You got to say, well, in my past life, I was filthy. It's no different from brothers, man. We have to sit back and say, you know what, in my past life, I was an animal, brute, beast, niggard. I was a niggard at the table. I was a lion in my own house. I was a drunk. I was a striker. But what do we have to do? We have to sit back and have our minds instructed in righteousness through the Spirit. So if we got to do it, how come y'all don't? Or how come you feel it's not necessary? But it is necessary. It is necessary. You want to be that gift from the Most High. You don't want to be that wicked woman that's given to the portion of a wicked man. You don't want to be that. You want to be that silent, loving, and not silent like mute, dumb, deaf, blind, can't talk, but knowing when to talk. You don't want to be the usurper. You want to be the one that's in subjection. Read on.
A shamefaced and faithful woman.
A what?
A shamefaced and faithful woman.
Wait, a shameless woman?
A shamefaced.
Right. A woman that got some discretion about her. Not up in everybody's face. Let me see what he's talking about. Let me assess his spirit. Let me see what the brothers is on. This is a shamefaced and faithful what?
Woman is a double grace.
Go ahead. You say that's a shamefaced and faithful. Why is she faithful? What makes her faithful? Very important point. Who knows? I know it's Friday. Everybody tired. What makes this woman faithful? How do we know?
She's loyal.
In what? And to who?
To her husband.
She's loyal to her husband. How?
She listens.
She listens, but how do we know? Shawashana. She does what? Perfect. She trusts his judgment. She allows him to take the lead without some type of back and forth discourse, without some argument, without having to have that ripped from her. Her faithfulness is shown in, hey babe, we're about to make this move. Listen, we're moving to Virginia. Come. Not, we're moving to Virginia. Nigga, where we work at? And the kids, and how we gonna get there? And it's cold, and all the breathing in between like you giving birth. With all the excuses why not to, and all the head movements and shoulders, and you pop locking. Come on, man. She showed her faithfulness by following, by being instructed. Listen, go back, read verse 14 again.
A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord.
Read.
And there is nothing so much work as a mind well instructed.
This is how she shows her faithfulness. She allows her mind to be well instructed. So we know she's not dealing with an unrighteous man. That instruction is coming through the Spirit. This is how she shows her faithfulness. It's very important. A lot of y'all don't want to follow because you're unfaithful. You're unfaithful in your husband's method. You're unfaithful in the path. You're unfaithful in the vision. You don't have one. You still riding the coattails of your husband. You can't ride his vision and think that you're going to make it. It says where there's no vision, the people perish. You got to have visions too. You got to be able to see the goal, the long term. You can't ride the coattails into the kingdom. You got to be convinced in your own mind. But you got to be, the way you show that faith, or the way you build your faith, sometimes you just got to be along for the ride. Again, you did it in the world. You did it in the world. You were faithful as hell in the world. You didn't ask no questions where we was going, how we was getting there. Because when little Mustafa or little Muhammad was like, we're going to the moon, you were like, well, cool. When Malik was like, yeah, we hitting the moon, babe, and he was broke as hell with no car, he said, we're going to the moon. He was broke with no vehicle. You were like, I believe it. I believe it. When your husband now is like, hey, babe, let's go to the movies. You're like, how? We ain't never got no time. And like, what you talking about? You believe Mustafa. You believe Malik. Right? You believed him when he was like, yeah, let's go to the moon. He didn't have a pot to piss in. When he said, yeah, I'm going to give you the world, baby. And he was still living in his mom's basement. But you believed it. You wrote in faith. When your husband is like, listen, babe, we got to do this right here. This is going to get us better. This is going to get us closer to the Most High. You're like, why we got to do that? You know, the head wrap, don't talk like this. You got to think like this. But why? This is the way I think. You got to see it, man. Read on.
A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace. And her continent mind cannot be valued.
Somebody look that word continent. I don't want America. I don't want Alaska. Continent. There's many definitions. Continent is what I'm looking for.
It says refraining from
what you got? Go ahead.
Refraining. No, that's not the one. Restrained, moderate.
It says what?
Restrained.
Restrained. Her restrained mind. Restraining from what? From all the prior things that we read about in Peter. The lasciviousness, the lust, the revelings. She's restrained from arguing. She's restrained from going back and forth. She's restrained from, well, if it ain't going her way, she got to speak out. That's what it means by continent. By continent mind cannot be valued. She knows when. She knows that every time it's not her way, it ain't got to be an argument. Or why? Her continent mind tells her, let me just follow. Let me just roll with what my righteous husband is telling me. He ain't trying to burn us up in the house. He ain't trying to get us high. He ain't trying to drive us to the dope spot. It's like, okay, I'm going left. No, go right. Well, why? I'm going left. Well, I said I want to go right. Bro, it be like that with some sisters. You argue about which way you should turn to get to the house. He wants to go right. Damn it. Let him go right. He's not going to drive you off a cliff. You and all the kids. If you want to wash the dishes 4 hours from now, let him wash the dishes 4 hours from now. I mean, wow. It be little things like you arguing over dishes. Come on, man. You ain't even supposed to argue with your kids over dishes. Why would you go back and forth with your husband over dishes? But sisters do it. Because they feel like when I say go, you're supposed to just be in full sprint. But it says her continent mind. What's the definition?
Refraining from unlawful sexual commerce.
Right, so she refrains from unlawful sexual acts. But it said, what was the one before?
It says restrained.
Restrained. So it's not just sexual. If she's restraining from all the arguments and contention, she's considering like, but if I rebuttal every little thing, what's that going to do? That's going to bring Satan into my house. Go ahead, what else you got for continent?
It says, or moderate in the indulgence of lawful pleasure.
Right, so lawful pleasure. She's like, yeah, I'm not going to get drunk excessively. I don't got to buy bottles of liquor and store it in the house. Because there are pleasures that you can overindulge in. I'm going to eat in moderation, but I'm going to think in moderation. There's a way to think in moderation. There's a way to talk in moderation. What else?
It says, definition 4, continuous, connected, not interrupted. That's
what else we got? Is that it? On continent?
Gone.
Mustafa, nothing against you. The name just popped in my head. The name just popped in my head. From there, real quick. Last scripture. And we said it. The reason why you don't want to follow is because you don't trust your husband's judgment. What's that, Mafia?
Oh, I also had chaste and temperate for continent. I don't know.
Chaste?
Yeah.
Temperate?
I don't know if you had said that.
Right. That goes back to that Peter her chaste conversation. Right? That you're not sitting there talking about how your husband's blowing your back out with other sisters and things like that. You're having that good, godly, spiritual, uplifting and building convo. Chaste and temperate. Right? You ain't acting out of anger. You're tempered. Sisters got to be more tempered and stop every little thing. All of a sudden, you don't like the way your husband did something, so what do? You don't get angry. You don't get mad. What do? You don't get angry. You don't get mad. What do?
Get him back.
You what?
You get him back.
You don't know, but how do you get him back? What do y'all do?
Oh, being quiet.
You do what?
You shut down.
You shut down. You don't get angry outwardly. You don't get mad outwardly, but you shut down. All of a sudden, you're a mime. You're quiet. You can't talk. What's going on, babe? You don't even say nothing. You just Kanye shrug. You shut down. You ignore his phone calls, his texts. Come on, man. I know what y'all do. It says a continent mind. See, a woman with a continent mind is looking at all these things and saying, yep, nope, it's not time to shut down. But that's why it says you can't put a value on that. You can't put a value on that because now that mind can be instructed either which way it goes. Y'all understand that?
No.
Any questions? I know sisters got questions. Y'all got questions? Come on, sisters. I know y'all got some questions. God. Yeah. Any questions on the topic online? Yeah, Yeah, if y'all got questions online, you know we got Sabbath class tomorrow. So, yeah, there it is. You shut down. Government shut down. It's like government shut down. Yeah, it'd be like that. 35 days she don't talk to you. 35 days she was trying to be in silence. Like, see, it says to be silent and loving. No, not that way. Man, something a week because there's no father figure. Yep. In his life, and he's going by what his mother have taught him. That's exactly right. I'm just going to do some of the comments straight up. Men need to be real men before trying to lead. That's very true. The Bible speaks of a woman who should be seen and not heard, per se. Yep. Obedient to her husband, shamefaced, cut her off, throw her away. So I had to change that. Still changing. Right? And maturity. All right, man. I was just waiting to see if they had any questions, if any sisters had any questions online or in here.
They got it.
Oh, they got it. What's to the point? Put them on the couch. Yeah, that's sad. That's sad. We definitely want to thank everybody for joining us. If you didn't get your question answered today, just shoot it through the text tomorrow. We should be able to get to it. You know, we only have 3 hours on these classes, man. So we try to get questions and get class out in enough time. We thank everybody for joining us. That's online, everybody in class. Remember, the Passover, April the 21st, right?
Yes, sir.
April 21st, if y'all want to help us to get to lock down the venue, we're trying to get that deposit money up. So if y'all want to help, please let us know. Contact us. You can email us. You can text me, 303-557-8979. You can text or call Kazakia, 281-707-2737. Email us, I.S.B.H.P K at isbhpk.org. We got the Google Wallet, the Wells Fargo. Remember, that time is gonna go by fast. It's literally, we got 2 months.
Yeah.
We got 2 months literally. So 6 months ago we had 6 months, and that went fast. All right. So if that's it, we're gonna say salam, salute everybody.
Shalom.
Thank you for joining us. Until Monday.